This young man with black hair was just strolling through the streets like any other day when suddenly the sky turned dark. Even though it was the middle of a sweltering summer, a girl pointed up at the sky and asked, "What is that?" Tan Fong followed the direction of her finger, unsure of what they were all looking at, when suddenly his eyes widened in shock at the sight of countless dark clouds swirling, covering the blue sky in the middle. Suddenly, a flash of light burst forth from it. Everyone felt that this was truly strange. Out of nowhere, something poured down from the midst of the clouds like a waterfall after that jolt. A bizarre green panel appeared in front of Tan Fong, startling him. Judging by the expressions of those around him, he guessed everyone could see this system. This isn't a physical entity. Could it be an illusion technique? But on this planet, there's no country or organization with such technology. Tan Fong, curious, reached out to touch the panel to see what would happen. Immediately, a startup message appeared. The system is initializing celestial slaughter of the 6 worlds. Those who are healthy and aged 50 years globally will be transported to the celestial slaughter of the 6 worlds. A place where fierce beasts roam and demons invade, where countless races coexist, filled with dangers and death, but also rich in resources and opportunities. In that place, humans could lose their lives at any moment, but they could also achieve immortality. The light shining down from above formed a beam aimed at everyone within the specified age range. They rushed towards the beam, wanting to escape. But it was like a barrier they couldn't break free from. Beneath Tan Fong's feet, everything lit up and he felt his body beginning to fade away. Finally, the system's message came through. This is the only opportunity for the planet to save itself. Moments later, they appeared in mid-air and began to free-fall. The system welcomed them to the newbie village 911, where each village initially had 1000 people. Tan Fong landed in a wooden house. His whole body lay twisted on the floor, but he wasn't hurt. This world was unfriendly, but at least it preserved his life. After witnessing this place with his own eyes, he realized that the celestial slaughter of the 6 worlds truly existed. The system provided information to Tan Fong. This is the wooden house of the newbie village, blessed by the heavenly Tao. Without his consent, no one can intrude. Moreover, resting in the wooden house can restore stamina and energy, and from now on, players can use the heavenly Tao interface. Before them was the heavenly Tao interface, which looked just like a game interface. Tan Fong mumbled, then fumbled around to find his personal information and a few stats. His combat power was only 1 star. Tan Fong then entered the World Chat channel to see what people were saying, but he couldn't access the World channel. It seems there must be some conditions to meet. Only then can everyone interact here. So he entered the chat room of the newbie village, which was chaotic. Some were hoping the government would come to rescue them, while others claimed aliens had abducted them for experiments. A young man in the chat said they had crossed into a novel, but he didn't know who the main character was. Meanwhile, in another place, 2 men were discussing combat power evaluations. It seemed everyone was the same, but one bald uncle said he was 1 star at the limit, and if he gained 1 more point, he would reach 2 stars. His stats were significantly higher than average. He scratched his head and said he admired boxing, so he usually liked to train strength, which is why his stats were a bit higher. After hearing this, Tan Fong understood that combat power was related to 4 stats: strength, agility, physique, and energy. Now, most people had a combat power of 1 star. Uniquely, a maximum star rating is usually 10 points, but Tan Feng's physical agility strength doesn't even reach 10 points, probably because he's so picky with food that he's as thin as a drug addict. According to everyone's data, the highest vitality is 13 points, which is less than half of Tan Feng's. Although it's unclear what effect it has, it's currently an advantage for him. The system announces that based on 4 indicators and the player's innate nature, they will awaken their innate abilities, which are classified into levels from low to high FED. C, D, A, S, 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 and specifically innate abilities rated S and above have unique characteristics. The system excitedly asks Tan Feng if he accepts the awakening of his special powers. Of course, at this moment, he has to choose yes. It's a redundant question. Tan Feng finds himself in a strange space surrounded by variously sized green orbs, and he dodges one that's rushing toward him. Based on his experience reading novels, Tan Feng knows these orbs must be related to awakening innate abilities. The stronger the innate ability, the more special the orb. So Tan Feng dodges all the ordinary orbs flying toward him when suddenly one orb flies at lightning speed and merges with him before he even realizes it. After that, a series of other orbs also merge into him at this moment. The system congratulates him on awakening an SSS-level innate ability, stating that this power can be activated to extract from all targets, achieving unimaginable effects. Tan Feng only knows that an SSS-level innate ability is possessed by only one person, but he doesn't understand the system's vague explanation. It seems he has to experience it to know its effects. After returning to the village, the new players have completed their innate ability, awakening over 700 people at level F, nearly 200 at level E, and only 2 people at level C and above have awakened innate abilities. This means that the SSS level innate ability, like Tan Feng's, is even rarer. Among the 2 people who awakened innate abilities at level C and above, who else could there be besides him? Could there be anyone else with an SSS level innate ability like his? One person named Liu Xian on the board claims to have awakened a C-level innate ability that controls gravitational force, making the whole village excited just by hearing about it. Will he become a magnet Liu brother in the future? I'll follow you around. Even a C-level innate ability is revered by everyone. If Tan Feng reveals that he possesses an SSS level innate ability, it's likely that the applause he receives won't be the same anymore. In this world, it's all about killing. Such a powerful innate ability will be Tan Feng's greatest support and trump card. He absolutely cannot let it slip out easily. After the equipment procedure is completed, the system informs them that they can now leave the wooden house and enter the new player village. The assessment will begin in 10 seconds. Those who do not meet the requirements will be sent to sell salt immediately to level up. They can hunt fierce beasts and monsters to gain strength from them. Now it's time to distribute weapons to the new players. Tan Feng pulls out a sword from the Heavenly Dao screen. It has no physical form but can manifest as a tangible item. It's truly a strange reality. What he pulled out is a rusty level 0 broadsword, which every new player starts with an attack power of only 2 points. To increase the attack power, he needs to raise his strength points. Tan Feng immediately takes the broadsword and slashes it in an X pattern. After using this new player broadsword, he feels like he could easily take down a buffalo, even though it only has 2 attack points. If it could level up to 10 or 20 points, its power would be unimaginable. But how to level up Tan Feng doesn't know yet. He glances at it and thinks about testing his innate ability. A surge of power radiates from Tan Feng's arm. A green light like a flame suddenly makes the broadsword powerful, creating a gust of endless autumn wind, helping him absorb all the rust and debris from the new player broadsword. It helps it level up to a level 1 spirit steel broadsword with an attack power of 5. Tan Feng has only tested his ability once and has already upgraded it from level 0 to level 1. The attack power increases by 3 points, and he wants to try again to see what else he can get, but this time he gets nothing because the target's quality is too low. With the attack power increased by 3 points, he wanted to try again to see what he could get, but this time he ended up with nothing because the target's quality was too low. It's reached the limit of refinement, so there's nothing more to draw from it. Tan Feng still thinks he's the king of the world, but it seems his abilities are still limited. If he keeps using his powers to level up, he might as well be hacking the game. Even so, Tan Feng's starting point is worlds apart from the others. Just swinging his sword nearly broke this house, and outside he can hear the crowd buzzing. Wow, this place is huge. There's even a square ahead. It seems everyone has come out of their wooden houses. Tan Feng decides to step outside and see what the world is like. This is the Tan Thu village, 911, nestled in a valley surrounded by lush green forests and towering mountains with strange beasts flying around. The heavenly path is forcing them out to hunt monsters. If they can't reach level 10, they'll just have to sell salt. The Tan Thu assessment lasts only 7 days, so most of the crowd is worried, probing each other's abilities. But indeed, most are at level E and F, and some even have abilities that are useless. In front of them is a teleportation gate like a time machine from Doraemon. They are in the peaceful Tan Thu village, but they don't know what awaits them after they step through this gate. Tan Feng guesses this must be the exit from Tan Thu village, and the world outside is a place of slaughter. Everyone stands before the massive gate. Who will be the first to step out of this light? Suddenly, there's a loud explosion behind them, dust flying everywhere. Tan Feng and the others panic. Could it be a beast appearing? A young man with a shaved head stands in the crater he just created. He's Vuong Quang, a 1-star extreme combatant among them, and everyone immediately gathers around him with admiration. Vuong Ka, you're amazing. What kind of talent do you have? Vuong Quang is taken aback by the attention. He has a D-grade talent that enhances his strength, tripling his power. If Tan Feng remembers correctly, Vuong Quang's strength score is 18. With that talent, it would rise to 54. No wonder he can punch the ground to pieces. D-grade talents aren't common, but they're not too rare either. There are also E-grade talents that only double the strength score. Vuong Quang already has 1-star extreme combat power, and with the D-grade talent, everyone thinks he's the strongest among them. Vuong Quang stands with his hands on his hips, grinning. Of course. Ha ha ha! Before coming here, I worked out every day and drank protein shakes instead of meals. Now it's time to welcome my glorious moment. They remember Lu Hien, who has a C-grade talent. They wonder how strong he might be. But these words make Vuong Quang feel jealous, thinking that a strong fist is the only truth in this world. To prove he's the top dog, Vuong Quang volunteers to step out of the village and take on the first battle to see how strong the beasts outside are. Immediately, he receives enthusiastic cheers from everyone, but once Vuong Quang leaves, they all fall silent. His strength is decent, but his brains aren't the best. He could end up being the one to sacrifice himself for them after they step through the gate. This place is also a dense forest, seemingly nothing special. Vuong Quang mutters to himself as he walks waiting to kill a beast so they can see who the real leader is. Suddenly, a dark shadow darts past Vuong Quang so quickly that he can't see it. He looks around, confused, holding his sword, spotting a gigantic figure behind him. Vuong Quang breaks into a sweat, glancing back at a ferocious rabbit that instantly takes his life. The system announces that Vuong Quang has been killed by a level 1 bloodthirsty beast. The rabbit is a level 1 beast with 3-star combat power. Level 2 has 4-star combat power. Level 2 has a combat power of 4 stars. Level 3 is 5 stars, and from there it increases to the king level where a single punch can shatter the ground. Yet he was defeated by a level 1 beast, leaving everyone confused and hesitant to charge in and sacrifice themselves. But if they don't go, then the heavenly path will let the beasts come and attack. Tan Fong was extremely worried because the king had already fallen within 5 minutes to the weakest beast in this survival world. It's harder than imagined. The heavenly path warns new players so much. This proves that it cannot assign a task that new players cannot complete. He was sure there was a way to pass the assessment if the beast had a combat power of 3 stars. Encountering 4 humans with a combat power of 1 star, what would the outcome be? In their confusion, people began to think about forming teams to fight together. They looked for ways to coordinate, and the first team was established. A young man with a shield approached Tan Fong and said, "I see you always go alone. Do you want to join our team?" "No, thanks," he replied, turning away. "Joining a team is a good idea, but it's not suitable for someone like me. Before I become strong, I must hide my skills and talents." The first team had been in for 15 minutes without anyone dying, so it seemed it was time for Tan Fong to act. He took a deep breath and stepped through the gate alone. Inside, the forest everywhere gave a sense of primal wilderness to the extent that Tan Fong imagined a moment later a Tyrannosaurus Rex would jump out from the grass. Suddenly, a foul smell wafted through his nose. The air was increasingly thick with the smell of blood, making Tan Fong cautious as he crept toward the source of the scent, only to find the still warm corpse of the king. His death, partly due to arrogance, was ultimately caused by this sudden world of slaughter. The corpse of the king served as a wake-up call for Tan Fong. Here he could lose his life at any moment. To survive, he had to be extremely careful and continuously grow stronger. Thinking this, suddenly a light flashed in Tan Fong's mind. If he wasn't mistaken, this might be the true way to use that ability. Tan Fong approached the king's corpse and successfully used the infinite extraction. He obtained the D-level strength enhancement talent from him. Unexpectedly, even in death, he was not spared. This ability truly shows no mercy to the young or the old. Tan Fong's strength index was 8 points, and with the D-level strength enhancement, it would rise to 24 points, which was enough to surpass most ordinary adults. Tan Fong was visibly delighted. This was indeed the true way to use his talent. With just a little more time, he could gather hundreds or even thousands of talents. After multiplying his talent, he would become an overwhelming existence that everyone would look up to, feeling like he stood above everyone else. Indeed, the king was very strong, but his defensive speed was only average, and with his arrogant personality, he recklessly sought out beasts without understanding the situation, which led to his demise. Therefore, for most people, cooperating to complement each other's weaknesses is the best way to survive in this world. But Tan Fong didn't need to rely on that. With the sword he just picked up from the king, he used his ability to turn it into a level 1 weapon with infinite extraction, leaving him with no weaknesses at all. After walking a bit, Tan Fong encountered a giant black rabbit corpse. It seemed to be the level 1 blood rabbit that had attacked the king. He carefully observed the numerous wounds on its body. It proved that he was surrounded and killed by a group of people, but that didn't matter. Tan Fong tried to use the infinite extraction to successfully gain 2 points in strength from the beast. The unexpected result pleased Tan Fong. Now his basic strength was equal to the normal value of an adult, and if he enhanced it further, he would gain 30 points. I hope to encounter more fierce beasts to quickly absorb their strength, gaining the power to smash the ground like Vuong Quang did when he tried to extract from the black rabbit once again. But it has dropped below level 20, so I can't extract anything more. It seems Vuong Quang has to search for the corpses. That team must have killed quite a few fierce beasts along the way. I just need to follow the path they took to scavenge the corpses. The more people there are, the easier it is to take down fierce beasts, and at that moment I would have more attributes than Vuong Quang. Following the path with the most footprints, I was suddenly attacked by a giant beast. The first-level giant beast killed this person. He is the second to go, but he was in a team when extracting from Vuong Quang. With my innate ability, I extracted from the black rabbit and gained 2 attribute points. Humans and fierce beasts are not the same. Humans have innate abilities, while fierce beasts only possess strong physical qualities. So I decided to hunt down Li Duye's corpse. I wanted to gain another innate ability, but I wandered around because I didn't know which path Li Duye's team took. Logically, paths less traveled are more dangerous. The chances of his team taking this route are very high. Before finding Li Duye's corpse, Chu Tan was killed by that fierce beast, making me anxious. It's very likely both of them died in the same place. It seems the danger they are facing is scarier than they thought. At least a small team couldn't handle it. I was confused, not knowing whether to continue or not. I stood there pondering when a cold breeze blew, making me determined in this deadly world. The weak will be eliminated first, so I resolutely jumped down. To survive, I must understand the principle that in misfortune there is fortune. I crossed a field where the weeds were almost as tall as my head. I took each step very carefully, and finally the smell of blood wafted in, growing stronger. It seems the target is right ahead. I pushed aside the grass and discovered Chu Tan's corpse, eyes wide open, alongside Li Duye, who was also lifeless. The giant beast must be nearby. A first-level fierce beast with a combat power of 3 stars. Naturally, I am no match for it. I can only quietly extract the combat power and escape. Suddenly, my eyes widened in shock. What lay before me was a giant beast, severely injured. Although I wasn't its opponent, it had broken 2 legs and was surely on the brink of death. So killing it shouldn't be too hard. I counted down, closing the distance to the giant beast. When I was just 1 meter away, I enhanced my strength to attack. Suddenly, the front paw of the giant beast swung up, causing me to drop my sword, but since it was injured, its strength was limited. I leaped from above, thrusting the sword straight down into the giant beast, which couldn't move and lay still, waiting for death. After the stab, it still had the strength to roar. I then increased my strength and smashed the giant beast, finally sending it to the afterlife. Scavenging from this giant beast was indeed very dangerous. These fierce beasts are more alert than I thought. From the corpse of the monster, something flew out and entered my body, making me anxious, but it turned out to be the strength I gained. After killing the fierce beast and taking down the giant beast, I was rewarded with 30 energy points, successfully dispelling my fatigue. After defeating the fierce beast, my information board updated my level from 1 out of 100 at level 1 to 30 out of 100 at level 1. This is indeed a very smooth start. I gained strength from both human and beast corpses, and energy from defeating them. The final step is to extract the energy from the giant beast. This time I gained 2 agility attribute points. With these 11 agility points, I became stronger, but the attributes I gained from first-level fierce beasts are too low, so I need to find second-level fierce beasts soon. Next, there are 2 corpses lying by the roadside. Tan Fong has no mercy. The first one is an F-grade enhanced sense of smell that boosts his sniffing ability by 10 times while in use. For others, this talent is indeed useless, but for him it has a tremendous effect in this dense forest and grassland. Finding a body is not easy. Just having the talent for smell, Tan Fong can easily sniff out the scent of blood. Moreover, after enhancing his sense of smell, he can also detect the scent of predators from far away. This way, he can avoid them when it's unnecessary. Tan Fong stripped off Chu Tan's shirt, tearing it into a piece of cloth, and wrapped the 2 swords he just picked up using his ability on them. The assessment began, and within less than an hour, his strength and agility stats had reached the average standard plus 3 other types of innate abilities, so his overall strength must have reached 2 stars. But the Heavenly Path evaluates combat power based on 4 stats, so on the surface, Tan Fong's combat power is still at 1 star. Tan Fong wrapped the 2 upgraded swords in the cloth and set off. He enhanced his sense of smell and could perceive scents. Within a radius of a few meters, the smell of fresh blood rushed in, making Tan Fong uncomfortable because his sense of smell was heightened tenfold, so the scent was also stronger. He tried to relax and gradually get used to it. Especially, he had to be careful to distinguish these scents. Suddenly, Tan Fong sensed a faint floral scent mixed with the smell of mud. He could guess that it was the scent of a flower, but there was also a strange smell that was becoming more and more intense. Tan Fong immediately deduced that something was approaching him. A young man with blonde hair was being chased madly by a giant clam beast hitting a disgusting rat. That had sent the guy flying far away, and it was at that moment. The people hiding in the bushes rushed out simultaneously to launch a full attack on the mutated hamster. They successfully obtained 30 energy points but had to share them equally among the members. However, they were quite unlucky to encounter two giant clam beasts at once, leaving them no time to react. Li Duye and Chu Tan were out selling salt together, if it weren't for their leader Min telling them to retreat. While fighting leading it here to encircle it, they feared they would all be dead by now. One person, seemingly their leader, ordered them to prepare to finish off the dying giant clam beast over there. They couldn't let others take the spoils. Tan Fong recognized this was the team of Li Duyet and Chu Tan. If they found out he had just scavenged their giant clam beast, he would be in big trouble, so he quickly enhanced his speed. He hurriedly fled the scene in this ruthless world. Good qualities like kindness and generosity would only get him killed. To survive, he had to risk everything to seize resources. 3 hours had passed. Everyone was diligently killing beasts while Tan Pong was just wandering around collecting corpses. Basically, he had grasped the situation. On this Tan Thu plain, there were a total of 5 types of first-level beasts. Giant clam beasts, blood-sucking beasts, gray wolves, savage boars, and the highly toxic 9-headed snake. And in his hands was the savage boar which Tan Fong had just drawn. But unfortunately, with the same type of first-level beast, he could only successfully draw 3 times, so Tan Fong had run out of chances to scavenge, leaving only the highly toxic 9-headed snake, which he hadn't drawn yet. It seemed he had to set off to find its corpse. Meanwhile, during this time, 7 people had died, but Tan Fong had only found 1 corpse. Compared to the attributes of the beasts, the innate abilities of people were even harder to find. Tan Fong had enhanced his vision to E grade, and his combat power finally reached 2 stars. Now he had the ability to challenge several first-level beasts. Now he had the ability to challenge some level 1 beasts. Just as he mentioned the name Tao Tao, the creature appeared, and Tan Fong could sense the sharp, pungent smell of the deadly 9-headed serpent. As it drew closer, he caught another scent reminiscent of sweet fruits. Tan Fong approached a massive, ancient tree guarded by the gigantic serpent, and beneath its roots was the faint fragrance he had just detected. It seemed that the 9-headed serpent was guarding this peculiar tree. Moreover, he had to obtain it. The 9-headed serpent was the strongest first-level beast in the Tan Thu Plains, and the only one with spiritual attributes. It was rare to find it, and it seemed that luck was on Tan Fong's side this time. Sure enough, the intelligent beast, the 9-headed serpent, quickly noticed Tan Fong. It extended its several-meter-long body, baring its fang-filled mouth to attack him. He jumped up successfully, dodging its headbutt, causing the massive tree to snap in two like a twig. However, its speed was slower than Tan Fong's. It seemed to have just eaten its prey. Still busy digesting, he didn't think much and drew his sword, preparing to slay it. However, as the blade touched the scales of the 9-headed serpent, it was blocked. Its scales were like an impenetrable armor. Tan Fong jumped down, but in the process, it whipped its tail, sending him crashing to the ground. The 9-headed serpent opened its mouth and lunged to swallow Tan Fong whole. He immediately sprang up, enhancing his strength, and thrust his sword into its gaping mouth. The serpent writhed in pain, pulling Tan Fong, who was clinging to the sword, into the air with it. He struggled to hold on tightly to the sword, preventing its mouth from closing. Then Tan Fong kicked off to gain momentum. He sliced its body into pieces, ending the battle, and Tan Fong sighed in relief after such an intense fight. He gained only 40 energy points, but with just one more beast, he could level up to level 2. Fortunately, Tan Fong approached while the 9-headed serpent was full and sluggish. He quickly cut open its belly to see what was inside his face, turning blank as he saw a 5-fingered hand within it. It had eaten a person. Tan Fong was frozen in place. In this world, everyone could lose their lives in different ways. The only thing that varied was how they died, and he, of course, had to survive. Tan Fong extracted the innate abilities from the players inside the serpent's belly. He gained another enhancement for his vision, increasing it to level E, allowing him to see 20 times better and even in the dark after evolving his innate ability. Tan Fong also awakened the innate skill True Sight, enabling him to see the essence of things. He discovered a new mechanism if he possessed 2 similar innate abilities. It would cause the innate ability to evolve, and the chance of awakening the innate skill would also be higher. Tan Fong decided to test the first skill he had acquired. He used it to examine what the serpent was guarding. The red fruit was indeed a first-level spiritual fruit that enhanced physical strength and poison resistance after consumption. The True Sight was like those advanced scanning machines in sci-fi movies. With this, he would gain more information about many unknown things which would definitely be beneficial in the future resource competition. Tan Fong picked the red fruit and stuffed it into his mouth. His body immediately underwent a transformation, granting him an additional 8 points in physical attributes and a 100% increase in poison resistance. 8 attribute points were equivalent to extracting 4 magical beasts. This greenish toxic fruit was indeed powerful, but unfortunately there was only one. Tan Fong wanted to fully utilize the spiritual herb that produced it. Let's see if we can do something. This spiritual herb is born from absorbing the essence of heaven and earth, growing 1 leaf in its first year, 7 leaves in 7 years, and only after 7 more years does it produce a red fruit after the red fruit is harvested. Then it will wither and become useless, but since it absorbs the essence of heaven and earth, Tan Fong couldn't bear to throw it away, so he used his power on it to extract the spiritual flower. After consuming the spiritual herb, it increases physical attributes by 2 points. Tan Fong was satisfied. Indeed, the red fruit it produced couldn't be worthless. So now, Tan Fong had a combat power of 2 stars at its peak, and if he added the 4 types of powers he had buried, he could challenge 3 level 1 ferocious beasts at the same time. Thus, he decided to extract a highly poisonous 9-circle snake and then leave the plane. A newbie wanting to become stronger must step out of their comfort zone and enhance their strength. Just as he was reflecting, 3 large stones suddenly flew in from nowhere. Tan Fong glanced quickly, agilely dodging the 3 stones that landed on a tall tree. He sniffed the air but detected no scent of ferocious beasts. Only a highly poisonous 9-circle snake appeared. It seemed the strong smell of blood from the snake he had just killed was so intense that it masked the scent of another one, while the highly poisonous 9-circle snake over there was fighting a whole team. A young man had firmly stabbed his sword into the face of the snake. Determined not to let go, he shouted, "Die, I must avenge my brother Tran Quan." Tan Fong stood above observing the battle, not expecting to encounter him here. Loi Rak had a D-level talent for controlling lightning and had volunteered to lead everyone, while in the newbie village only 17 people awakened D-level talents and the strongest had already fallen in the first round. According to Tan Fong's memory, after forming a team of 8, Loi Rak had just left the newbie village, but now only 6 remained, making him suspicious as Loi Rak was thrown to the ground by the highly poisonous 9-circle snake. A girl with a bow and arrow ran over, ordering him to ignore her, while they took advantage of the snake's temporary loss of energy to rush in, with Loi Rak being the main attacker to hold it down. The highly poisonous 9-circle snake. Its momentum was weakening by the minute. Victory or defeat was only a matter of time, and Tan Fong was using his foot to scan for living ferocious beasts, discovering the highly poisonous 9-circle snake. Besides the normal stats, like other snakes, it also had a drop rate of 0.1%. While it could drop items, this rate was like finding a beautiful and capable wife, one who was both obedient and good at housework. Suddenly, a blinding light made Tan Fong squint. It turned out down there. Loi Rak's team had successfully taken down the highly poisonous 9-circle snake, and the energy points were being distributed among the members, with one young man receiving only 1 contribution point. Frustrated, he threw his sword, and the girl with the bow comforted him, saying, "Don't blame it anymore. The energy distribution is based on our contribution. The heavenly path is absolutely fair." It turned out that in a team, energy would be distributed according to contribution. You had to work to earn. But with 40 energy points divided among 7 people, each person wouldn't get more than 10 points. Tan Fong noticed something unusual and jumped down to observe more closely. Loi Rak was standing there, dazed, emitting a green light, but it seemed no one could see it except for him. "Boss, what's wrong?" Loi Rak said he had leveled up to level 2. Meanwhile, Tiu Li had only reached 17 out of 100, still a long way to go before reaching level 2, which made him sad. Tan Fong hid behind a tree, observing. This was the first time he saw someone else level up to 2. I wonder if there's anything special about level 1. After scanning the information, Loi Rak's stats appeared except for his talent and skills, which were normal stats, leaving Tan Fong surprised. This stat, combined with Loi Rak's D-level talent, meant his combat power had reached 3 stars. If Loi Rak fought a level 1 ferocious beast alone, his chance of winning would be 50%. Although Tan Fong hadn't reached level 2 yet, according to the heavenly calculations, his combat power was already rated at 2 stars at its peak. Adding a bit of talent, the overall combat power could even reach 4 stars. This also means you could easily defeat a trash mob, and one of the trash mob members saw him level up and immediately rallied to take revenge for their brother Tran, who was lying in the belly of the poisonous 9-headed serpent far away. A few hours ago, the 2 of them were scouting together when they were ambushed by 2 creatures. Realizing they were in trouble, they tried to run, but Tran with his short legs ran slower and was swallowed by one of them. Meanwhile, the young man in the hat awakened his speed talent, allowing him to run faster, leading the poisonous 9-headed serpent here. The trash mob immediately led their forces to take revenge for Tran, unaware that Tran had already been devoured by the nine-headed serpent after Tan Fong absorbed his talent. I was also killed by Tan Fong just as they passed by. Tan Fong accidentally stepped back, making a rustling sound, and the girl with the bow and arrow immediately shot an arrow at him. The arrow grazed Tan Fong's nose and lodged into a tree, leaving his face pale. "Who is it? Show yourself!" Tan Fong guessed that this girl had a hearing talent, so he had to step out with an innocent expression. "No need to worry, I was just passing by." The girl was startled and called out Tan Fong's name. He asked back, puzzled, "You know me?" He didn't remember having met this girl with ears like a cat. Loi Jiak turned to ask Liu Ningyan, "Do you know him?" Liu Ningyan waved her hand and said she had seen Tan Fong's avatar in the chat channel, but with 1,000 people in the channel, it was strange that she remembered him. Liu Ningyan cautiously asked Tan Fong why he was here alone. It was very dangerous. Tan Fong said nothing, feeling anxious about why they hadn't left yet so he could retrieve the body of the nine-headed serpent. The body of the nine-headed serpent. The atmosphere was very awkward when Liu Ningyan suddenly wanted to ask Loi Jiak to let Tan Fong join their team. Since they had lost Tran, they could take him in to increase their safety. Loi Jiak also had his own thoughts. The power of humans and beasts was too great, and those of the same level basically couldn't deal with the beasts, so cooperating would increase their chances of winning. In the future, this place would surely have many powers, and he wanted to have his own influence to stand firm here. So Loi Jiak asked about Tan Fong's talent and attributes. As long as they weren't too weak, he would accept him. Although he wanted to quickly establish a force he couldn't rush and let anyone join. Liu Ningyan happily said, "Tan Fong, please share your personal information. Our boss Loi is a level 2 expert with D-level talent. If you can join our team, your luck won't be bad." In response to her invitation, Tan Fong shrugged and said, "No need, I prefer to go alone." Liu Ningyan wanted to chase after him, but Loi Jiak stopped her. After all, they didn't need to force him to do anything. Liu Ningyan felt sad inside. She knew Tan Fong had forgotten about her, but she still hoped he would survive. Indeed, on the way, they remarked that Tan Fong was truly strange. When he faced trouble, he would regret it. But when they arrived at the remains of the nine-headed serpent, everyone was stunned to see the serpent torn into pieces. How terrifying! Who in the newbie village could have such strength? Someone guessed that Lu Hian had sea-level talent, but his team was going in the opposite direction. Tu Li touched the blood of the nine-headed serpent. Guessing it was killed about 15 minutes ago, the serpent was 7 inches thick and only one person's footprints were left at the scene. Loi Jiak guessed that this person was definitely a master, likely a lone wolf without a team. At this point, Liu Nyan remembered Tan Fong, who had also been alone here. So the possibility was very high. At the same time, the Heavenly Tao announced that someone in the newbie village had leveled up to level 3, activating the top 100 rankings. Loi Jiak quickly clicked to check. But Tan Fong's ranking was 47th, and not only that, he was still at level 1, which made Loi Jiak doubt his earlier assumptions. The current first place was Lu Hian at level 3. Tan Fong, upon checking the rankings, was not surprised. Over 5 hours had passed, and 8 people had leveled up to level 2. Lu Hian was at level 3, so it seemed he had to speed up to deal with the beasts. The first level in Bin Nguyen has reached the limit for attribute withdrawal now. The Heavenly Path has also activated the reward mode for new players. The first person to reach level 10 will receive a golden duong, the second will get a silver duong. The third person will receive a bronze duong, and the first 100 players will get additional duong as encouragement, and they don't have to wait for the end to open this duong. The Heavenly Path is aware of this too. The duong is also divided into levels from black iron, bronze, silver, gold, dark gold, epic to mythical. Of course, the higher the level, the better the items that drop. Tan Fong has also started the trend of hunting fierce beasts. The level battle is about to begin. And if you're going to play, you have to go all in. That golden duong must be in Tan Fong's hands. He rushed like the wind and immediately encountered a mutated silver wolf. He accelerated both speed and strength at once, aiming for its head, but its head was tougher than a woman's. Striking it felt like hitting a block of iron. Tan Fong thought that activating his innate skill would allow him to defeat it, but it seems that in its mutated form it was still tougher than usual. The silver wolf looked at Tan Fong with blood-red eyes. It didn't expect a level 1 human to boldly invade its territory, but this level 1 human was much stronger than many level 3 ones. Tan Fong was also contemplating a strategy. People often say that a wolf has a head of bronze and a body of iron, but its weakness lies in its soft belly. Just then, the silver wolf jumped up, exposing its belly. Tan Fong charged forward and pierced through its belly, coming out the other side. With one strike, he could bring down the strongest fierce beast he had ever encountered. The only difference was that he was stronger than it. After defeating the mutated silver wolf, Tan Fong earned 100 energy points, leveling up to level 2 with 4 stats plus an additional 10 points and 5 free attribute points. Tan Fong's whole body shone. It turned out this was the feeling of leveling up, as if a warm stream was flowing through his body, healing all his wounds. His vitality was also restored, and the reward for defeating the silver wolf wasn't over yet. Tan Fong also picked up a black iron duong. He clasped his hands and prayed for his ancestors to bless him. A level 2 item emerged, soaring straight into the sky, dazzling light pouring down like a waterfall. This appearance was truly worth the effort. Indeed, a level 2 item had dropped a Blood Wolf battle blade made from titanium fused with wolf essence, increasing attack power and healing wounds by 100%. Tan Fong held the Blood Wolf battle blade in his hand, feeling incredibly refreshed to have this sword. Now dealing with the mutated fierce beasts wouldn't require much thought. Just as he lifted the sword, a whole pack of silver wolves came to see. They were the companions of the silver wolf he had just slain, but they arrived at just the right moment. Tan Fong wanted to test his newly forged Blood Wolf battle blade. He swung it, causing one silver wolf in front of him to lose a leg while another charged in to attack. He turned and pierced the blade straight through its chest. Tan Fong smiled proudly. Now these silver wolves were just small fry to him. After dancing his sword around a bit, all the silver wolves that came for revenge were down. Having leveled up to 2, Tan Fong's speed, strength, and physique stats had all increased. He saw that in less than a minute he had taken down 5 silver wolves. This was something he couldn't have done even if he risked his life at level 1. Right now, he still couldn't uncover the secrets of this place. But it kept reminding him of the harsh reality. This wasn't a game, but a real world, and Tan Fong would continue to grow stronger. Flying through the air, eternally immortal, he sought a way back. The electric punch was no less powerful, having taken down a fat rabbit. Indeed, the strength of level 2 was a significant difference from level 1. At this moment, the Heavenly Path announced that Tan Fong was the first to kill a level 1 mutated beast and received a point of prestige. This prestige point accumulates. Only the first person to kill a level 1 mutated beast would receive this point. Everyone recognized the Tan Fong they just met, but since he was ranked 47th, they all thought he had just gotten lucky, probably a first-level mutated beast that wasn't too dangerous. He just got lucky. As Loi Jiak finished speaking, they all chimed in agreement, but reality slapped the upper-class guys in the face when the Heavenly Tao continuously announced those killed by first-level mutated beasts. Even second-level ones had fallen. So everyone panicked again, especially Loi Jiak, whose face had gone stiff. Just moments ago, he was proud of taking down a first-level mutated beast with one punch, but now Tan Fong had shown up. Single-handedly killing a first-level mutated beast, and at that moment, Tan Fong was climbing the ranks, rapidly jumping from 47th to 11th, and then just a second later, he shot up to 5th. Loi Jiak realized he had been too arrogant and signaled for the team to continue hunting mutated beasts. They couldn't let someone like Tan Fong, who was alone, get too far ahead. Meanwhile, Tan Fong was comfortably lying on a pile of corpses of the mutated beasts, blood oozing out. At that moment, someone on the channel was calling for help from the brothers, the captain of the team. "We're done for. Right now, I'm the only one who managed to escape." It turned out the team had a second-level powerhouse and 4 first-level powerhouses who were wiped out by a first-level mutated beast. The Lu Enche Da Tru, and the one calling for help had a speed talent allowing him to flee. He was 50 miles south of Tan Thu village, and Tan Fong could reach that place in less than 50 minutes. This Lu Nha Da Tru could take down many powerhouses, and since it was mutated, if he could defeat it, the energy points would definitely be substantial, and it might even drop some treasure. As Tan Fong walked a bit, he stumbled upon a corpse, indicating that the mutated Lu Nha Da Tru was nearby. But in the air, besides the stench of it and the smell of blood, there was also the scent of blood from the Nha Tho. Tan Fong casually extracted 2 agility attributes, but he felt something was off. Why didn't the corpse drop any talent like it usually does? Tan Fong tried again, but this time he failed. The last time he faced this situation was with a first-level mutated beast. He wondered what was different this time. He moved to a few other corpses and managed to extract a few talents. This proved that his infinite extraction ability was still working fine, but this system wasn't giving him any hints. Could it be that he already had that talent? And since its level was lower, he couldn't extract it. Tan Fong didn't care anymore. He would use whatever he could get, plus he had already acquired the physical enhancement talent. Among the 4 strength attributes, he had a D-level enhancement talent for agility, an E-level enhancement talent for stamina, and E-level enhancements for vision, and F-level for smell. Now with the E-level physical enhancement, all 4 had corresponding talent abilities, so currently Tan Fong had no weaknesses. Suddenly, he noticed drag marks on the ground, and the only corpse he hadn't encountered was that of Lu Van Duong. He thought for a moment and gritted his teeth. Could it be that this Lu Nha Da Tru wanted to eat the corpse like that snake did? Lu Van Duong had a D-level talent, and if he could find his corpse, Tan Fong would gain it. He had to find it before the Lu Nha Da Tru swallowed Lu Van Duong whole. Tan Fong followed the drag marks to the entrance of a cave on the mountainside, emanating a strong stench. It seemed this was the lair of that wild boar. This cave gave him a creepy feeling. Was it just his imagination, or was it really dangerous? No matter how powerful the Lu Nha Da Tru was, it was still just a first-level mutated beast. At this point, it was basically no match for Tan Fong, but as he entered the cave, he recognized a completely new smell. A highly toxic first-level mutated snake lunged at him. It's hard to determine its combat power because if it's in a state of enchantment or control, its strength might even increase, catching Tan Fong off guard, yet still managing to evade attacks. The venomous creature is a level 10 complete snake. At most, it has a combat power of 5 stars. But compared to the silver-backed wolf, it's definitely a notch higher. Moreover, it has the ability to spray toxic gas. Just thinking about it, the level 10 complete snake opened its mouth and released a stream of purple toxic gas, causing Tan Fong's eyes to widen in shock. Stinging, he clutched his eyes, screaming, and dropped his 2 daggers. At that moment, a horde of ferocious beasts hiding nearby suddenly charged at him, their vision blurred due to the effects of the poison. Tan Fong pulled out his blood wolf battle sword. Even if his eyes were blinded, he couldn't die here. He swung the sword a few times, forcing the beasts to back off. Tan Fong took advantage of their movements to launch an attack while the other 2 were still occupied. Then that mutated rat scurried away, but Tan Fong managed to take down 2 of them, yet he couldn't find the rat that had escaped. At this moment, the level 10 complete snake lunged at him from behind. Luckily, since it had ambushed him, he was prepared and managed to dodge. Tan Fong charged forward with his sword. Even though he couldn't see, he could still hear and smell. "Don't underestimate me. I refuse to sit back and wait for death." Tan Fong thrust his sword right at the top of the snake's head. The strike, fueled by his resentment, instantly sent it to the afterlife. Indeed, its energy level was significantly higher, specifically 110 points, and he also received a black iron ingot. Leaning against the snake's corpse, he gasped for breath. This was truly a close call. If he hadn't just enhanced his physical abilities, he wouldn't be the main character anymore. At that moment, Tan Fong successfully leveled up to level 3 with all 4 stats increased by 10 points. His vision had also been restored, and he was stunned before bursting into laughter. How could I have forgotten this? Leveling up can restore the body to its optimal state, allowing even blind or disabled eyes to recover. After regaining his sight, Tan Fong felt refreshed. He opened the chest that had dropped from the level 10 complete snake, unsure of what the item was, but his expression was one of great satisfaction. "I didn't expect this treasure chest to yield such good items. This time it's a real bargain." Aha! Deep inside the cave there was another teleportation door similar to the one in Tan Thu village, and the presence of the 3 beasts that ambushed him had vanished here with Tan Fong's current strength. Those 3 beasts! Even if they teamed up, they wouldn't be a match for him, but he felt like their actions were hiding some terrifying existence. Tan Fong stepped through the door. It was another vast cave filled with many first-grade spiritual herbs growing on the rocky walls. Before he could even eat a few strands of herbs, Tan Fong discovered a scene. It showed a group of mutated beasts surrounding a pile of bones and skulls. The system reminded him that he had entered a different space, so the leaderboard couldn't be used. However, personal information and the chat channel were still functioning normally. Tan Fong activated his true sight to look at the dry corpse sitting on the pile of bones, and unexpectedly it belonged to the human race but was already dead. Level 4 combat power of 6 stars, plus the nearby beasts. This indicates that their combined combat power also reached 7 stars. The staff with a single eye that he was holding made him feel extremely uncomfortable, and Tan Fong thought of a way to get out of there. He would come back to challenge when he was stronger, but suddenly that zombie opened its eyes, and Tan Fong felt frozen as if something was holding him back. It pointed at Tan Fong, commanding the beasts. "The level 3 earthworms and crickets from the little heavenly world have arrived. Then use your flesh and blood to revive me." 3 beasts ambushed Tan Fong like unleashed dogs. The chains lunged at him, but it seemed these 2 chains were the skills of that skeleton. They kept clinging to Tan Fong, not letting go, and he was unclear about the opponent's abilities. Being surrounded and attacked, he definitely couldn't let his chains catch him. Just as he thought that Tan Fong was tightly bound in the chains of the skeleton, no matter how he moved, he couldn't budge. The skeleton opened its mouth to complain. Because these brainless beasts only knew how to drag human corpses in, they didn't know how to lure living people during this time. He could only rely on the life force from the corpse to maintain his body, and now Tan Fong came to him like a gift from heaven. He would use Tan Fong's flesh and blood to be reborn. Tan Fong was in a precarious situation. If he couldn't escape his control, he would definitely be pounced on by those beasts in the moment of life and death. Tan Fong roared, causing the chains around him to snap. He instantly killed 2 beasts and charged toward the skeleton, which was now confused. Because level 3 only had a maximum energy of 30, yet he broke free from its mental control. No matter what it thought, Tan Fong lunged forward to attack directly. Suddenly, sharp objects pierced through his body. He collapsed to the ground, fresh blood pouring out while the skeleton was smug. Looks like you underestimated me. No human can stop my mental attack. I really like your body. Using it is the last honor of your life. Tan Fong scoffed, clutching his arm. Honor, what a joke. He had underestimated him. Tan Fong used all his free attribute points to invest entirely in energy. The skeleton noticed he was about to resist and wanted to tear his soul apart. Then he threw it into the flames of hell for endless burning. Lu Na Da Tru, quickly kill him. Tan Fong's energy increased by 10 points, but at that moment, he was thrown by Lu Na Da Tru. He was thrown against the stone wall, and from the dust, a golden light flashed. Tan Fong pulled out a sword to block the claws of Lu Na Da Tru. Luckily, when he opened the ring, he received this item. Even though he carelessly lost the Blood Wolf battle blade, he still had something to play with. Seeing Tan Fong's energy increase, the skeleton intensified its mental control. He took the opportunity to charge at the 2 beasts, and to break free from its control, Tan Fong needed at least 2 seconds. Finally, the skeleton smiled with its gnarled mouth as it was about to be reborn. But unexpectedly, the 2 beasts collapsed right at the threshold of heaven, startling it. Tan Fong scoffed after killing the poisonous snake. He had taken its poison pouch. Now it had finally shown its usefulness. All this time, Tan Fong saw the skeleton just sitting there while the 3 beasts fought him. Now they were out cold, leaving no one to protect it. The skeleton gritted its teeth, saying Tan Fong had used dirty tricks, but it had to look back to see who was cleaner. Suddenly it held the staff and chanted in some language. But Tan Fong would not let it finish and directly tore it apart. Indeed, destroying a level 6 creature brought different energy points. Tan Fong received 210 points plus 10 points for being a judge, making him a level 1 judge. Judges are those who specialize in exterminating evil creatures that disrupt the rules of the heavenly path. Out of 10 million people, only 1 is chosen. Tan Fong then received an additional 20 points in each attribute. When becoming a level 1 judge, he was surprised that the skeleton was an evil creature. No wonder the true side-eye ranked it as extremely brutal. Although this time he almost sold salt, for the second time the harvest was not small. No wonder the heavenly path said danger always accompanies opportunity. Suddenly, something flew out from the skeleton's corpse. The inspection system found that you have a corresponding talent, so it merged the sealing skill with the beast control technique. Tan Fong couldn't help but smile upon acquiring this skill. Can't you command a whole pack of fierce beasts, send them to fight monsters, and just sit back to earn experience points? But this dream hasn't come true yet. Because the activation conditions aren't suitable instead, you need to awaken the D-level enhancement talent to initially control the beast coordination skill. Only then can the beast control technique be activated, otherwise you need to awaken a C-level talent. 6 senses interconnected can activate this skill. It seems the conditions are indeed harsh, requiring not only the awakening of D-level talent, but also the discovery of the beast control pill. So Tan Fong immediately went to search the body of the skeleton, to see if he had anything. In his tattered sack, there were all sorts of things, from a pair of socks that hadn't been washed for 200 years, a gold chain stolen from a demon's concubine, to a piece of bone gifted by a beloved. But there was nothing related to potions, which frustrated him. After cursing for a while, Tan Fong finally felt a bit better. He would try to extract something from that dry corpse, to see if there was anything else he could get. Unexpectedly, he gained a D-level enhancement talent plus 3 points in strength and agility. Tan Fong then used the enhancement talent. Merging with the sealing skill, it indeed succeeded, but he would have to wait until he got the beast control pill before he could use it. Tan Fong returned to the pile of spiritual herbs. Using the enhancement talent to control the ring, it made the items take themselves away without him needing to lift a finger. An idea popped into his head in battle. He could use it to steal things barehanded. With no weapons, the corpse of Lu Van Duong was still intact, so Tan Fong took the opportunity to extract the talent. He gained D-level fire control ability and another corpse which granted him D-level speed enhancement. so now his speed was twice as fast as before and he spent the whole day stealing. Tan Fong also had a talent with damage potential. Once he got stronger, he might not need to fight up close, but could control the flames from a distance like this. When Tan Fong tried it, the flames erupted fiercely, almost burning him. Truly playing with fire could lead to disaster. The correct way to use it was indeed to roast meat like this. Thanks to the push from the heavenly path, the Tan Thu village was leveling up rapidly, and some others had already reached level 3 like this young man, Lu Nuyen. Maintaining his ranking, the chat channel saw him surpass Tan Fong and admired him. Even Tan Fong's name was grayed out and gradually slid down, but the system didn't report that he had died. Like many others, Tan Fong couldn't use the leaderboard, so his name was grayed out and stopped updating. After fighting all day, he decided to find a safe place to recover. That said, the meat from these fierce beasts, when roasted, was both fragrant and fatty, and not only that, eating it well cooked and drinking hot water helped recover stamina quickly. He was the first to discover that eating roasted meat could speed up stamina recovery, so he was rewarded with a point of reputation, and the system reported this to everyone. They thought he had fainted somewhere. It turned out he was enjoying himself, and at that moment the system activated a new game, the Interdimensional Trading Channel, where many people were asking for fire since they had none. Meanwhile, Tan Fong had a pile of roasted meat. It seemed this trading channel was just the opportunity he needed to start his business. Tan Fong then offered 3 pounds of roasted meat in exchange for a fierce beast's corpse, since he was the first to use the trading channel. He was rewarded with another point of reputation. Lu Hien just finished off a level 2 beast, the giant mountain bear, and immediately traded its roasted meat, both gaining a point of reputation when the first transaction occurred, while the Thunder Clan also took down a beast. He then traded for roasted meat while Tan Fong was roasting meat and extracting 2 attribute points without needing to leave the cave as someone was offering up the beast's corpse. He then used that corpse to roast and trade for another one, leaving it beside him. There were no beast corpses, but there were those thick-skinned enough to say that both he and Tan Fong were 3rd-level experts. Since he was 1 level higher than Tan Fong, he wanted Tan Fong to gift him 6 kilograms of roasted meat, and not just Tan Fong, everyone in the chat laughed at his shamelessness. Tan Fong said nothing, just lightly reminded him that the amount of roasted meat was limited. Those who arrived first got to earn money, and the hungry truly are the fathers of capitalism. Tan Fong thought to himself how ruthless he was. At the same time, there was a young man selling 50 kilograms of roasted meat in exchange for a piece of level 1 equipment. Tan Fong thought he was already ruthless. But unexpectedly, there was someone who was both ruthless and delusional, yet it seemed no one wanted to trade with him. Tan Fong looked for some unnecessary items to sell a level 1 beginner's weapon. It could be exchanged for 3 spirit herbs, a spirit fruit, or another piece of level 1 equipment. The chat exploded again as everyone thought Tan Fong was a blacksmith. The top-tier weapon was quickly traded with Tan Fong for a level 1 spirit energy sword. Wearing this bracelet increased his strength by 7 points. Among the 4 attributes, his strength was the lowest, so getting it would make up for some of that. Suddenly, there was a loud explosion accompanied by a blinding golden light. The system announced an emergency activation of the Beginner Village number 137, initiating a forced connection with Beginner Village 911. Starting a resource betting game, the losing side would have all resources halved, and all villagers would lose 20 attribute points. The winning side would have their resources doubled and gain 20 points. The contest's attribute condition was that the beginner village had a male expert who reached level 5 first, so the first to level up to 5 would receive a reward. 50 attribute points and a silver coin. At the same time, the chat channels of the 2 villages were connected, and during the betting period, both villages could not access their ranking channels. Tan Fong was shocked thinking about this resource betting battle. The losing side would face such severe penalties. What had Beginner Village number 137 done? The announcements from the beginners were continuously popping up, creating a buzz. The chat channels of the 2 major beginner villages successfully connected. Villagers from both sides could enter each other's chat channels but could not send messages. Resources halved meant the speed of leveling up would drop significantly and most people would not be able to pass the assessment. The beginners were acting so shamelessly. Indeed, there was no shame in Beginner Village 911. Who would level up the fastest? Do we even need to ask? Of course, it's Lu Hien, the great elder of the Heavenly Path, topping the leaderboard. No one could know who was ranked first. It was intentional trying to make us panic. Isn't the first rank of our village Lu Hien? As long as Lu Hien levels up to 5, we will win. Transitioning to a battle scene, a man easily defeated a wild wolf with his bare hands, saying, "Ladies and gentlemen, I am Baron Edward, a noble with noble blood. I have reached level 4. I will definitely lead you to victory." Baron Edward activated the chat channel. Oh my God, Baron, you are truly magnificent, so impressive. I understand now. Baron, you intentionally chose to start this bet at night, because the night is advantageous for you. He read the comments from everyone, his expression growing more triumphant. Haha, you are very clever to have guessed correctly. The night is when our bloodline is strongest. This Baron can single-handedly defeat a level 4 beast. He laughed heartily for a moment, then started coughing. Tan Fong felt fear grinding his teeth, sweat running down his face as he looked at the chat channel saying directly, "Vampires of the bloodline, so there really are such creatures hiding on Lamb Star." Tan Fong, feeling scared, gritted his teeth, sweat running down his face as he looked at the live channel, realizing that there really were such creatures as vampires hiding on Lamb Star. He was sitting in a cave resting and roasting meat when he suddenly stood up deep in thought. The entire Tan Thu village 911 was made up of people from Long Country. It seemed that the Heavenly Tao intended to place people from the same country in the same Tan Thu village. Why would the Heavenly Tao do that? What was its ultimate purpose? An announcement for the betting battle began, reminding him that the map for level 1 beasts was now open with rewards for the betting competition in Tan Fong's hands. Since when had he been holding a burning flame in his hand? He looked at it and said it was just the beginning of a confrontation between Tan Thu village and Tan Thu village in the future. Would it develop into a confrontation between countries, a battle between continents? Tan Fong firmly looked at his clenched hand, holding the fire no matter what. The important thing now was the resource betting battle of the two major Tan Thu villages. Edward could single-handedly defeat level 4 beasts, and his leveling speed was faster than Liu Hien's. But it was still not as fast as Edward. He had to reach level 5 and at the fastest pace he needed to head to the high-level beast area, to hunt more beasts under the dark, thick clouds in the night sky, gradually dissipating. He ran quickly forward like a leopard, thinking how lucky he was to have enhanced vision. Even in the night, he could see things as clearly as during the day. Tan Fong ran swiftly as if he already knew the location he was looking for. Enhanced smell allowed him to detect the whereabouts of the lurking beasts in the darkness, avoiding them beforehand. Moreover, after the resource betting battle began, the Heavenly Tao had rewards exceeding expectations. The map of the beast activity area allowed him to reach the beast area he wanted to go to faster and more accurately. In the quiet night illuminated by the moon and fireflies, the area of activity for level 4 beasts was where Tan Fong swiftly glided like a golden lightning bolt, taking down many wild wolves. He held the majestic black sword gliding above when he bumped into an ambushed wolf. At that moment, Tan Fong was shocked by what happened in an instant as the beast attacked. Tan Fong lightly used his sword to take it down. The beast, a level 5 golden-eyed Bill Beastman, had a combat power rating of 8 stars with agility and claw skills. The storm attack combo had a drop rate of 1%. He was a bit surprised as he looked at the beast he had just taken down. He thought to himself, the golden-eyed Bill Beastman, as Tan Fong approached the beast, stepping on its corpse and shaking his head, suddenly jumping out, startling him. His speed was too fast. The probing ability of his enhanced sense of smell couldn't keep up, giving it a chance to ambush him. Luckily, it was just a level 5 beast, and he received 2 points in strength. He curiously picked up a leg of the beast, staring intently. This was the first time he encountered a half-human, half-beast creature. Could it be that beasts above level 5 would no longer retain a purely animal form, but begin to evolve into human forms? In the quiet black night, dark energy was flying towards Tan Fong. While examining the beast, he looked towards the dense, deep forest. He suspected he could smell a familiar scent. Could it be that there were spirit herbs and spirit fruits nearby? The beast area was filled with spiritual energy, causing Tan Fong to hesitate. Right in front of him was a level 6 beast area, where high-level beasts would certainly have high-level spirit fruits. He wondered if he could encounter humanoid beasts there. If it was a bunch of undead beasts, that would be troublesome. Never mind, let's find the spirit fruits first. Where there are spirit fruits, there are spirit beasts to hunt down first, and then collect the spirit fruits, killing 2 birds with 1 stone amidst the giant trees. Tan Fong was still small, not even as big as a tree root. He found the spirit fruit he wanted, bright red and beautiful amidst the gloomy forest. But the trouble for Tan Fong was that next to the spirit fruit, the small wind was no bigger than a root of a tree I found wanting that beautiful red fruit to shine brightly in the gloomy forest, but it was a hassle for the wind to be next to the fruit. There's a giant bear-like beast sitting next to me guarding the spirit fruit, and it's immediately checking the rank of this troublesome beast. A notification about the spirit fruit and the beast appears before me, identifying it as the dragon blood fruit, a second-tier spirit fruit that absorbs a large amount of dragon blood to grow. The effect is that after consuming it twice, it can significantly increase physical agility. and the second effect has a 1% chance of granting a Dragon Ray. The beast known as the Berserk Beast King is rated at level 6 with a combat power of 12 stars characterized by its brutal and bloodthirsty nature with a territory awareness and enhanced physical attributes at level E. The drop rate is over 60%, and I realize this will be a tough battle against this Beast King. I send a message to the Berserk Beast King sitting under the tree, but it notices me and swats me away, slowly approaching my position. I crouch down, breathe in heavily, realizing I was careless. I didn't expect it to be so massive. And its speed is astonishing, leaving me no chance to dodge as the Berserk Beast King approaches, warning me not to get in its way with its 3 heads. I don't want to waste time playing with you. Leave this place. I'll spare your life. I ignore its words, standing up with my sword pointed at it, the 3 heads speaking eerily, and I can't help but taunt it back. Why don't you just leave? I'll spare your life, it reacts angrily, shouting, "You little level 4 human, I will tear you apart." It viciously attacks me, but I manage to defend myself. I bend low, gathering momentum. The Berserk Beast King targets where I stand, but I quickly leap away, causing it to become confused as I dive down with my blade aimed at it. It quickly reacts, forcing me to dodge its attack, and its second head screams, "Big brother, the third one's dead." "The third one is dead, you detestable human!" The first head responds angrily. Furious, it emits dark energy, cursing me to shut up. After a while of fighting, I assess that its neck is much tougher than I imagined. Even with all my strength, I can only sever one head. Suddenly, the Berserk Beast King glows with a golden light, and a golden dragon image appears above its head, indicating it's in a transformed state that can last for 10 minutes. I quickly leap up. I deduce it's a dragon roar, but its power is weak, likely due to being near the dragon blood fruit for so long, and it shouts out its next intention. "Human, you've completely angered me. I want you dead!" I struggle to muster all my strength, swinging my blade at it, thinking that in its berserk state, the Berserk Beast King's defense is even stronger. Yet it remains unharmed. It retaliates by swiping at me, and I feel panic. I'm in trouble. There's no way to dodge. In the eyes of the Berserk Beast King, its face twisted in rage, it roars, "Human, you are too arrogant. Do you think you can challenge a level 6 with your little level 4 tricks?" It brings its massive, drooling mouth close to me, wanting to show me the consequences of provoking it. Immediately, I seriously swing my hand, unleashing a blazing red flame, reminding my Bloodwolf battle blade to add firepower. The added fire damage of 10 catches it off guard, making it grimace as it suffers without having time to react, and soon it is defeated, lying helplessly on the ground. I breathe a sigh of relief. Hugh, the Bloodwolf battle blade with the added fire, finally broke through its defenses. This battle was indeed tough. I relax, sheathing my weapon as I approach it, speaking. "A level 6 Beast King is much harder to deal with than a mutated beast. I almost died here. The level 6 beast was much harder to deal with than the mutated beasts. I almost died here, but this time I could probably draw out some decent talent." Suddenly, Tan Feng realized something was off and wondered, "Wait, why hasn't the Heavenly Tao notified me that I've killed the Fierce King?" He sensed something lurking, ready to attack. He quickly dodged the ambush, confirming immediately that the Fierce King was still alive, Tan Feng. After finishing off that monster with a punch, the system appeared, announcing that he had successfully killed the Fierce King, level 6, and received 500 energy points. You are the first to kill a level 6 beast, earning 2 prestige points. Your accumulated prestige points now total 6 for killing the Fierce King. Successfully achieved the rank. Receive the bronze treasure with a 98% chance of opening item level 2 and a 2% chance of opening item level 3. Then he turned back and stared intently at the beasts. They said I was beheaded, yet here I am still alive. This time, killing the level 6 royal beast truly opened my eyes, but it also served as a warning. In the world of level 6, each rank is significantly stronger than the last. Not for a moment could I let my guard down. The system continued to notify me of my achievements, successfully opening the treasure and receiving item level 2. The armor of the Hung, Vuong, with a defense boost of 25 100% resistance to fire and 100% resistance to frost. After finishing up, he happily ran his fingers through his hair and said, "A defense boost of 25 plus attributes against frost and fire. This has to be top-notch for level 2. The ring suddenly glowed, and he rubbed his chin, looking at the notifications that appeared. Successfully extracted the infinite receiving, the E-level bloodline enhancement talent, awakening the bloodline and increasing strength, speed, and defense by 30%. Reminder, you have the bloodline enhancement talent. He thought to himself, the more easily the body and blood merge, the easier it is to awaken the bloodline talent and integrate. No wonder the royal beast wanted to guard the dragon blood. Even when I appeared, it didn't want to fight. If I had a treasure like that, it would definitely keep a close watch on me, never letting me out of its sight. He thought of a plant, and suddenly felt a sharp pain in his chest, clutching it and gasping in agony. A voice from the dragon echoed in his head, sounding as weak as an ant on the ground. "Let me think. Should I swallow you whole or burn you to a crisp like humans do?" It tightened its tail around him, threatening. It exerted force, causing him to cry out in pain. It continued, "Or should I just crush you like this?" He was terrified, recalling that he had only eaten one dragon fruit earlier. All of this must be an illusion. He bit down hard on its tail to confirm his thoughts. There's no way it could control me with an illusion. The dragon cried out in pain. "Hey, wait, you crazy fool! I am a true dragon!" "A true dragon? Do you know I can teach you the secrets of the true dragon, the dragon chi sword, the dragon chant, the dragon might? Please don't eat me. Who cares about you?" He thought, "I'm definitely going to eat you clean." After breaking free from the illusion, he clutched his stomach and sighed in relief. No wonder it's a level 2 spirit fruit. The system continued to announce. After consuming the dragon blood fruit, your blood has been enhanced. You receive 5 points in strength, 5 points in agility, and 5 points in physique. You have awakened a trace of dragon blood power. Physique +7, agility +6, stamina +8. Reminder, your blood has been enhanced with the help of the dragon blood fruit. 0.1% of your blood has transformed into true dragon blood. He then happily looked at his profile, level 4, 190 out of 200 class judge, level 10 out of 100. Fame, 6 strength 115 +7 enhanced strength level D. Agility, 121 enhanced speed level D. Physique, 122. Enhanced physique level E. Poison resistance, 100%. Vitality, 129. Enhanced will level D, enhanced vision level E, enhanced smell level F, elemental control talent fire, aspect level D, bloodline enhancement talent level E. Infinite original talent level SSS, combat power rating 11 stars, maximum free attributes 5. He happily said, "I heard that people in this country are descendants of true dragons. Plus, with the bloodline enhancement talent, a bit of luck, and a little bit of everything, I could encounter the opportunity to receive a trace of true dragon blood." While he joyfully said this, he finished eating the dragon blood fruit. Feeling warm all over, he really wanted to sleep, but he still couldn't fall asleep. "I'm about to level up to level 5. Killing one more beast could win the match." In the distance, a terrifying pair of eyes watched him. He searched the notification board to check on the progress of others. Suddenly, a monster behind him opened its mouth wide, preparing to attack, but he was too focused on the notification board. Liu Xian was about to level up to 4. "We are just one step away from victory." This isn't good. Edward, the opponent, just killed a level 4 beast, gaining a significant amount of experience. I wonder how he's doing now. Somewhere far away, the main character, Baron Edward, proudly declared, "This Baron has reached level 4, 520 out of 200. Before dawn, I will reach level 5. You all just wait for the glory to descend." The people around cheered, "Great Edward, you truly are the strongest man in the world," a girl praised Edward. "I just checked the progress of the strongest on the side of the newbie village Long Guo. He's only at level 3 while you've already left that Liu Xian far behind." The people nearby chimed in, "I'm so pumped, this time those weaklings from Long Guo will definitely have to kneel and cry, ha ha ha." The system popped up in front of him. The newbie village 911 newbie Lam Fong is the first to reach level 5. Newbie village 911 wins the resource bet this time. He was taken aback, unable to contain himself. What? Everyone fell silent watching as the scene shifted towards Lei Jia and Liu Nian, seeing the congratulatory announcement for newbie village 911. All members received a reward of 20 free attribute points. She happily told him, "Lam Fong, you really did it." The others joined in. Damn, what kind of god is Lam Fong? At the same time, Lam Fong was fighting with all his might, while those assisting him chatted. Suddenly, a massive mountain appeared in front of him. It startled me so much. Damn, I was just killing a blood demon beast and suddenly another one showed up. Luckily, I got an extra 20 attribute points. Otherwise, I would have been done for. Resources, ha ha. All of these are resources. I'm so happy they joyfully revered Lam Fong the Mighty One. Now, the system continued to announce simultaneously for Newbie Village 137. All members of Newbie Village 137 had 20 free attribute points deducted. Newbie Village 137's resources were halved. At this moment, those who had just praised him fell silent. Edward's attitude changed. The one cursed by the gods won't die whole. It's all because of that damn bloodsucker, Edward. He shouted angrily, cursing, "You fools, this Baron remembers your names. I will drain every drop of blood from you and send you to meet Satan." They not only ignored him, but also banded together to attack him. This filthy bloodsucker dared to threaten us. "Let's team up to take him down. Kill the bloodsucker, kill the bloodsucker." The scene shifted back to Tan Feng, where information was continuously updated. Congratulations, Lam Fong leads Newbie Village 911. Winning the resource bet earned him 3 prestige points. Congratulations to Lam Fong for receiving a reward of 50 attribute points. Congratulations to Lam Fong for receiving the silver treasure. Although danger was looming, he remained calm, using his weapon to pierce through the monster. Without even turning around, he swiftly dealt with it and added, "I'm really grateful to Mai for the experience points that helped me finish with a final blow completing level 4. Once I reach level 5, I'll draw on you and exploit you for all you're worth." He smiled, successfully collecting all his loot. He received 2 points in strength. The system reported another update regarding Lam Fong. "Lam Fong the Great One, I just obtained a resource token. I want to use this token to exchange for a level 1 Spirit Steel Sword." He looked at his loot, smiling. "A level 1 weapon for a resource token. This is definitely a good trade. I can't refuse any longer. After obtaining the extreme resource, the initiative will be in my hands, and I won't have to rush to hunt high-level beasts like this again." The Wind chose to agree to the system's notification about the extreme resource order. Each novice village only appears once, and only the highest-ranked person from the 4 villages can access it. You can only activate and use it after starting. Once activated, the village token rewards the initiator with double rewards, while the 4 villages that fail will have the initiator punished twice. I muttered, no wonder Ming wanted to sell it to me. Not only was the activation limited to those with the right to start the token, but the punishment for the initiator was also double the usual. A list appeared. "They thank you, Master Lam Fong. When do you plan to start the resource battle?" That's right. "Let us fight until the flowers fall and the water flows away. I'm really looking forward to it. Master Lam Fong, please reveal a bit more." You feel proud, head held high, thinking how cool you are, suddenly leading everyone to victory, gaining immense respect. You tell everyone through the screen, "Wait until morning, everyone restores their best state, and I will start the resource battle." You will all be convinced. Joyfully agreeing it makes sense. The Master truly is a master, thinking things through so carefully. Supporting the decision of Master Lam Fong, prepare. Will gather your spirits and get ready for tomorrow. After turning off, you tell yourself it's not that you didn't think things through, but because you wanted to buy time. Suddenly you exert force, causing the rocks around your feet to shatter. While concentrating your strength, you think that with your energy, even if you don't sleep for 3 days and nights, you won't feel tired. You attack a bird, piercing straight through it. Your true thoughts are, first, you will enter the most dangerous level 10 beast area, then start the resource gamble. Level 10 beasts are the most dangerous, but the energy they provide is also the highest. It can level up the fastest, and your chances of winning will be even greater. The system continues to announce the successful kill of a level 6 shadow demon. You receive 220 energy points. A strong wind blows past you, and you think in the low-level beast area the energy gained is quite low, and the drop rate is also low, so now you need to handle the battlefield a bit. Now hurry to the level 10 beast area. Tan Fong looks around, puzzled. You use your cloak to cover your face and whisper, "The level 10 beast area marked on the map is right here." You open the system to check around, but suddenly realize that even with your enhanced sense of smell, you can't detect any scent of beasts. What on earth is going on? The system is broken. Does it have a self-check function or not? Suddenly, a hole appears in the ground right where you're standing. You are startled. Before you can check what's happening, you have already fallen. You think to yourself. Earlier, you didn't sense anything unusual. It felt like it appeared out of nowhere. Annoyingly, there are no walls around, making it impossible to gain leverage. You need to think quickly to stop falling. Otherwise, if you keep falling like this, you'll definitely end up with a broken head or bones. If you don't die, you'll be crippled. Then your whole body radiates fiery energy. Fortunately, you manage to stop in time using your strength to hover in the air. It turns out the space underground is a whole world. You land on the ground, sensing your surroundings, murmuring. As soon as you land, you sense a powerful beast scent. You've never encountered it before, but you remain alert. Could this be the true level 10 beast area? Besides the beast scent, there's also a foul odor of decay that makes you nauseous. This stench is so strong that you can't pinpoint the location of the level 10 beasts. You touch a monster and realize it's just an illusion. What kind of bizarre place is this? Looking around, you draw a conclusion from the outside. It looks very much like the Tanthu Village 911. You think boldly, could this place actually be the abandoned Tanthu Village? If your guess is correct, when the Tanthu mission fails. Will Tanthu Village number 911 also be sent to a place like this? You feel sad, seemingly blaming the heavenly path. It is indeed both fair and cruel. It gives everyone a chance to level up and gain abilities, but once someone is left behind, then you will be thrown into a bottomless abyss without mercy. A voice suddenly echoed, "This is not a place for humans to be." It seems to be the leader among the soldiers. We are the guardians of this place. Regardless of whether it's a fierce beast or a human that enters here, there is only one outcome: death. The The ones behind also said, "Humans, it's time to fight." The system now displayed a warning. "I inform you about them. The hellish soldiers mutated, level rank above level 15. The system cannot investigate further. Friendly reminder." The drop rate is over 10%. I think these dog-headed ones are above level 15, and I have no idea how to leave this strange space. I can only fight and see. Moreover, the drop rate of over 10% is indeed very tempting. The attack power increases by 100, attack speed increases by 100%. Armor penetration increases by 30%, and the wounds tear apart. Then I decided to give it a try. My eyes flashed with a purple light, a cold gaze, hoping to obtain the 4th-grade weapon, the white-silver sword. It could help me kill these monsters. I made up my mind and started. The dog-headed ones were furious, each one charging at me as if they wanted to tear me apart. A huge explosion was happening where I was, and I skillfully dodged their attacks using the fire sword. I jumped onto the broken stones to evade their attacks and landed when suddenly a large sword stabbed straight at me. Luckily, I was quick-witted and managed to dodge that strike. I thought, is it because they underestimated me that they only sent one person to fight me? The system kept notifying me, use the divine ability to enhance strength, use the divine ability to enhance speed, use the divine ability to enhance physique. Using the divine ability to control fire, I struggled to dodge the attack. "I will show you the consequences of underestimating me," I charged angrily to retaliate. The ones behind watched and asked, "Do we really not need to help the boss?" "I feel like this human is not simple, don't worry. With his skills, at least the boss can kill 10 of them, but it looks like the boss is struggling," another said. "Can't you see the boss is just playing with that human?" They observed the fight. "Look at that human, he's deliberately throwing off his attacks to expose his weaknesses. He's attacking again, making him think he has a chance." Then he crushed him. At this point, I was stomped underfoot, realizing in that moment he had vanished. In that brief moment, I had slashed through him. But he had disappeared, and I realized I was now beneath him. He arrogantly stepped on me, saying, "You have some skill, but this game ends here." "I don't have much time left," the ones watching teased him. "Are you too slow? Do you need our help?" He raised his sword high and stabbed down at me, but in an instant he was pierced through by a sword. He spat blood, and at that moment the system appeared, "Kill the mutated Hell Soldier." Successfully gained 15 points. "You are the first to kill a mutated Hell Soldier, gaining 2 points of prestige." The ones far away were surprised. What I said more to them to survive in this world. I can't afford to waste a single second. My eyes gradually became sharper, especially after I obtained the ability to control thoughts, allowing me to control dead objects. The system updated endlessly, successfully gaining the D-level divine ability Shadow Stitching, awakening the fire skill of Hell. You have leveled up to Judge level 2. Successfully killed the Hell Soldier. I picked up the fragment of the Shadow Seal. My hand touched the fragment of the seal, and I breathed heavily. I have been constantly practicing how to stitch weapons, looking at the fragment in my hand. Successfully killed the Hell Soldier dog. I picked up the fragment of the Dark Seal. My hand touched the fragment, and I was panting. I had been practicing how to craft weapons, looking at the fragment in my hand. Tan Fong moved as fast as a flash, weaving and dodging through the trees in the forest, jumping up and down like a monkey just learning to swing from branches. He kept repeating those movements over and over again. Meanwhile, he mumbled from left to right, from above to below, recalling the grueling training he had endured with various wounds all over his body. He concluded that after countless training sessions, he had finally grasped a bit of it, his eyes shining with a dangerous glint. Tan Fong smirked at the dogs. He said the skill of not killing was infuriating the hellish soldier dogs. One of them bared its sharp teeth in anger at Tan Fong's boastful words. Then one of them shouted, "You little brat, just kill him already!" Another calmer one advised against it, saying it wasn't the right time, and they started shoving each other. "I just got my nails done yesterday, I don't want to fight," said one dog soldier who had just been assigned a noble task, trying to back out. "Why should it be me you go?" "You should go, it's your turn." The second dog pretended to be generous, seizing the opportunity to train their skills. They kept pushing and arguing, making so much noise that Tan Fong felt a headache coming on. Suddenly he realized something was off. His comrades had been killed, but they acted as if nothing had happened. Could it be that I still haven't killed it? Tan Fong glanced over his shoulder, doubt creeping into his mind. The Heavenly Tao had already announced that I killed it successfully. At that moment, a deep, hoarse voice rang out, "Human, are you looking for me?" Right after that, the leader of the hellish soldier dogs appeared like a ghost behind Tan Fong, causing his heart to skip a beat. It opened its mouth wide, filled with sharp teeth, and inside it was an energy ball that was gradually growing larger. When the ball reached a certain size, the dog soldier leader opened its mouth and unleashed a powerful explosive blast. Tan Fong quickly dodged to the side just as he landed on a nearby patch of ground. A loud explosion erupted right where he had been standing. Tan Fong quickly regained his composure, gripping his sword tightly, his body automatically entering a battle-ready stance. The hellish soldier dogs also began to approach their leader, taunting him. "Your vigilance is getting worse by the day." The leader tilted its head, stretching its neck, and replied, "It's been too long since I last saw a human. I might be a bit overconfident." Facing Tan Fong, he was bewildered and exclaimed, "No way!" Clearly, the dog soldier leader pointed directly at Tan Fong and exposed his secret. "You clearly received the Heavenly Tao's notification that you killed me successfully. But I don't understand why I'm still alive," it said, as if it knew everything. "Surely the Eye of Truth can tell you our names." Hearing those words, Tan Fong was startled, his face paling. He thought to himself, "He knows the Eye of Truth." Ignoring Tan Fong's ugly expression, the leader took a spear from its underlings and said, "The meaning of hellish soldiers is that we come from hell, which also means—" Suddenly, the hellish soldier dogs were enveloped in a strange blue light. Their eyes gleamed with arrogance as the dog soldier leader declared, "We are immortal." Regardless of the grandiose words from the dogs, Tan Fong spat in disdain. He glared at them, his neck even thicker than theirs, saying, "They're just a bunch of dogs. What's there to be proud of?" Then, as if wanting to show off his sword, suddenly ignited with flames as Tan Fong dashed forward, declaring proudly, "If I can kill you once, I can kill you 2, 3, or even 4 times." Immediately after, the leader of the hellish soldier dogs and Tan Fong charged into battle. "If I can kill you once, I can kill you 2, 3, or even 4 times. Right after that, the leader of the hell soldier dogs and I rushed into a brawl. The name of the big boss managed to deflect the powerful strike of the spear, and Tan Fong narrowly avoided the treacherous attack from the dog soldier as they fought relentlessly. The sound of clashing weapons echoed continuously as they kept going one-on-one until the crowing of a rooster signaled the dawn from a nearby fighting rooster. A hell soldier dog spotted the first rays of sunlight appearing on the distant horizon, and at that moment the teleportation gate also appeared. The hell soldier dogs gathered in front of the gate, and one of them waved his hand loudly, urging the big boss that it was time to go. "We have to leave now." The big boss continued to wield his spear towards Tan Fong, who was forcefully thrown back against a tree, clearly in pain, while the big boss of the hell soldier dog walked towards the gate. Turning back, he praised humanity, saying, "You're quite interesting. I hope to meet you again next time." After the hell soldier dogs left, Tan Fong wiped the dirt off his face. He felt annoyed, muttering to himself about how he despised those damn dog-headed bastards. "Crowing early, just like our elders said. It's true, crowing early means you get to eat." Then a notification appeared warning that the village had vanished, connecting with countless other villages in Tan Thu. It appeared in the darkness and vanished before dawn. Seeing the information it provided, Tan Fong suddenly understood. This also meant that as long as there was a dark seal, everyone had a chance to enter. He looked at the half-broken dark seal in his palm and bitterly said, "You dog-headed bastard, wait for me. When I have enough power, I will definitely come back for you." Suddenly, Tan Fong sensed something. He furrowed his brow, showing immense discomfort as a monster resembling a centipede suddenly emerged from the ground, gigantic and with 4 sharp fangs. It appeared right behind Tan Fong. He turned around and used his clairvoyance to read the monster's information, helplessly repeating, "Not again," as the information immediately appeared. Hellbeast Earth Centipede Level 12, Combat Power Rating 15 stars. Characteristics include highly toxic, incredible hearing. Innate abilities include Enhanced Hearing Level E, Earth Element Sensitivity Level F, Skill Infection Technique with a drop rate of 1.2%. Tan Fong swiftly and decisively slashed through the body of the Earth Centipede, successfully splitting it in half, while several other Earth Centipedes appeared in the distance. While waiting for them to be marinated, a notification also appeared announcing that 2 people from the Tan Thu village had reached Level 5, activating the automatic connection channel. Hearing the notification, even while dodging the stone hands that had just emerged, he couldn't help but exclaim after loading the reason for the rapid leveling of Lu Hien. "Faster than I expected!" Immediately after 3 consecutive notifications appeared, reminding that every 1000 Tan Thu villages were divided into a notification area that began to link. Area 1 is linking. Notification chat channel for the linked area is successful. A Tan Thu village number 911 is the 47th village to join the channel. The area is starting to buzz with numerous messages from people from different Tan Thu villages. The messages mainly discuss the newcomers from Tan Thu village number 911. "Oh, look! Another group has arrived!" A girl with a side-swept hairstyle said Tan Thu village number 911 is the 47th to enter. Not bad. But it seemed others didn't think so. A guy who looked like Ha Ban commented, It's been so long and only 2 people have reached level 5. That's it. The ones at the bottom are still from Long Kwok, a chubby boy chimed in. Brothers from Tan Thu Village number 911 don't talk to those guys. They're all from the same gang. Another person, seemingly a victim of those nasty guys, also chimed in with advice. That's right. Competing with them made us lose half our resources. You guys need to be careful. A bespectacled guy who looked knowledgeable but spoke like a street thug added, This time, who will step up to teach those Long Kwok guys a lesson? A guy wearing a turban replied to the question as Amir Khan said, This time, who will teach those Long Country people a lesson? A guy in a turban texted back to the question. Lord Amir Khan already said, The sacred mission to defeat the Long Kingdom people has entrusted us at Village 446 with another big guy who pretends to agree to support us in overthrowing the Long Kingdom so they can't stand firm in this bloody world. The long-haired guy seems to be both laughing and texting in the support group, ha ha ha, to you arrogant ones. A guy with a flat face who doesn't seem to be from any village confidently declares that Amir Khan is just 2,000 points away from leveling up to level 8. The Long Kingdom people are definitely losing. After a series of messages showing hostility, we finally see a message from the opposing side saying you are truly shameless, according to the words of the guy in the turban. 2 notifications appeared in succession. Village Tan Thu 446 activated the inter-village betting enforcement order, and Village Tan Thu 991 initiated the resource betting battle with strong figures from Village Tan Thu. The first to reach level 8 will win this betting match. At this moment, somewhere else, Tan Fong just swung his sword, splitting the last stone statue, and the system notifications kept popping up, receiving 800 energy points after reaching a certain threshold. An important notification appeared announcing that Tan Fong from Village Tan Thu 911 reached level 8, first winning this resource betting battle. Tan Fong casually scratched his ear, appearing indifferent, but inside he felt smug looking down on a bunch of people who thought they were better than him. He was only 1 sword away from level 8, yet they dared to challenge him. At the same time, a notification rang out in Village Tan Thu 911, and all the villagers here were enveloped in a powerful green aura. A guy with a buzz cut looked down at his body and asked, What just happened? A guy with a hooked nose also had no clue what was going on and replied, I don't know. Another young man with dark circles under his eyes looked at his hands in shock and said, Tan Fong the Great has won. A long-haired girl asked in confusion, But didn't the resource betting just start? Someone spoke up to answer, That's right, Tan Fong the Great, followed by a series of praises that gave everyone goosebumps. So strong, so awesome, it really feels great, just keep it up. Even if we want to level up slowly, it's hard. Finally, the Tan Thu assessment has hope now. Long live Tan Fong the Great, Tan Fong the Great, my little brother is willing to offer his first kiss, keeping 25 rascals. Meanwhile, in Village Tan Thu 446, the defeat notification also rang out. Notification Village Tan Thu 446 failed in the resource betting. Notification Village Tan Thu 446, all resources reduced by half. 2 notifications hit the villagers here like a bolt from the blue, leaving them devastated, voicing their complaints. What's going on? We just started the battle. Why has it ended already? No way. How could we lose to the Long Kingdom people? Amir Khan has lost half of his resources. Many of us won't be able to pass the Tan Thu assessment. Amir Khan was clearly very angry. He gritted his teeth, unable to utter a word, blaming it all on those damned Long Kingdom people. We can't let them continue to be arrogant. I must take revenge, take revenge. Saying that Amir Khan opened the announcement board, it seemed he had another plan. Amir Khan analyzed that he would go to the regional channel. To find our allies for assistance, they also hate the Long Kingdom people as much as we do and will definitely help us. A notification from Amir Khan also appeared on the regional channel stating that the allies from Village 911 used dirty tricks to win this betting match, doubling their resources. Their attributes have also increased. If they grow stronger, the threat to us will become greater. If we let them continue to expand, we definitely won't be able to live well. Please help us defeat the newbie Village 911, where a nun is floating in midair enveloped by mystical blue rays beneath the nun, are 4 men sitting and examining the special announcement. One of them spoke up asking how the leveling speed of these Long Kingdom folks is so fast. It can't be an S-level talent, right? A guy with a chest injury clasped his hands together and looked at the nun with a humble expression. Then he flattered that an S-level talent is a grace bestowed upon us by the Father, and how could an ordinary Long Kingdom person be favored by the great deity? Only his servants will receive his attention. The nun said nothing, just smiled and listened. Meanwhile, in another newbie village, a blessed man was carrying a child on his shoulder, walking through the snow and cold wind. The child saw the announcement Amir Khan posted and laughed joyfully, saying, "Ha ha ha ha, old man." Amir Khan, who likes to act all high and mighty, was defeated by the Long Kingdom people, and the blessed man smiled and added, "Those Long Kingdom folks, huh?" It's no wonder the guy was dragging a huge crocodile-like monster behind him, leaving a bloody trail on the pure white snow while his other hand held a spear. Hearing the boy on his shoulder talk, he recalled that he had met some Long Kingdom people before. They really are unbeatable. I hope I can meet them in the grand world. In yet another newbie village, but this one feels cozier. A long-haired man was staring at the screen, reading the announcement, then asked the one busy fighting the monster. The player below submitted a challenge request to the newbie village 911 right. The man named James turned his head and replied, "Miyamoto Nami from Village 5 is an A-level space talent and the first in Area 1 to reach level 8. He continued stating his purpose, saying he was very afraid of the Long Kingdom people surpassing him. Let him scout the strength of the Long Kingdom first, and the other guy agreed. Just after a short while, the news of the victory of Newbie Village 911 and Amir Khan's kill request announcement stirred everything up again, making it annoyingly lively. These people are truly envious, not wanting our Long Kingdom to live well. These damn fools, the Long Kingdom isn't dead yet. Why don't we see the great Tan Feng rise up? Using the traditional arts of our great Long Kingdom, we will crush those who don't want to interfere in this matter." Just wanting to gossip, they climbed up, calling for their buddies, selling sunflower seeds, drinks, and folding chairs to watch the great Tan Feng teach them how to be human. However, the protagonist of the story, right now, is struggling to carry the head of a giant sandbug, tiredly saying, "Tan Feng, your people are about to die from the heat." It turns out the sun here is too harsh. Tan Feng had to use the body of the sandbug to shield himself from the sun. He grumbled uncomfortably, hoping to unlock a water talent or an ice talent, otherwise he really can't stay here. Suddenly, a box appeared before him from which a shining command card flew out, illuminating the area, and an information board promptly appeared to explain. About this item, a sea-level mission order activates the command card, allowing one to receive an unlimited time sea-level mission upon completion. One can receive very rich rewards along with a shadow gold reward. Tan Feng carefully considered, based on the provided information, the top tier of the newbie assessment. Just having a gold reward but completing this sea-level mission, he could obtain an even higher-level shadow gold reward. It seems this mission will be very difficult. After that, he looked at the command card in his hand and made a decision. Since there's no time limit, why not activate it now? If I can't complete it, I can just leave it for later. Slowly speaking, Tan Feng activated it, and 3 major announcements popped up. Tan Feng from Newbie Village is the first to use the mission card and received 1 reputation point. Congratulations to Newbie Village 911 for meeting the corresponding conditions to activate the mission channel. The sea-level mission is to break 5 seals indefinitely. The mission content is to collect 5 types of sovereigns. The heart of metal, wood, water, fire, and earth is rising up the steep slope of the Dragon's Peak to find 5 ritual altars to break the seal of the Tanthu village. Finally, the system does not forget to give a reminder. The reminder states that after the seal is broken, the residents of 911 will be able to enter a much larger world. All the villagers in the first area who complete the mission can enter the grand world. Tan Feng examined the mission bit by bit, slowly analyzing the task. This was a map-opening mission, which meant that whichever Tanthu village entered the grand world first would have a significant advantage in obtaining more resources. He checked the reminders for this location, and the 2 notification boards for the mission appeared. Following Tan Feng's hand movements, the reminder suggested that the mission taker should go to the Central Plains to hunt the Beast King and receive the Earth Heart. The coordinates for the Central Plains are 398,872. The reminder states that the Beast King is the weakest and easiest to hunt, suggesting forming a small team of 20 level 10 experts or higher. The success rate of the hunt will reach 70%. Tan Feng focused on the reminder while pondering the leveling speed of everyone in the village. Right now, a team of 20 level 10 experts would take at least 5 days to gather. By then, everything would be over. He looked around the desolate and deadly plains and said, "The bone-buried desert is very close to the Central Plains. Should we go there to understand the situation first?" Liu Ningyan tried to calm herself, telling herself not to move, to hold her breath, and to stay calm. She had to be calm. Liu Ningyan was currently trembling, hiding behind a large rock. She tried to keep her mouth shut to avoid making any noise. Behind her was a monster elephant wielding a large axe, searching around. The elephant monster grunted, calling out, "Where are you, human flesh?" The sound of the axe's blade creaked as the elephant monster mumbled about human flesh, the delicious smell wafting into its nostrils. This made the elephant monster pause. It charged towards the rock where Liu Ngyen was hiding, roaring, "I've found you." Liu Ngyen's heart sank as the monster swung its axe, its mouth wide open towards her. In fear, she screamed hopelessly. No, Tan Fong had seen this scene. This monster! A fierce beast and a brutal level 12 monster rated with a combat power of 15 stars. Its characteristics include brutality, bloodthirstiness, and a natural ability to enhance physical strength at level E. The skill drop rate is 1.2%. A bolt of lightning pierced through the beast. Just as it swung the axe down towards Liu Ningyan, she was swiftly rescued by Tan Fong. Liu Ningyan opened her eyes wide in surprise, exclaiming, "Tan Fong!" She was both worried and angry as she asked, "Why did you come to the level 10 beast area alone?" Liu Ningyan still hadn't regained her composure. She looked at the beast's corpse that had fallen to the ground and stammered, "Tan Fong, how are you here?" Tan Fong guessed that she hadn't come here alone, so he asked where her teammates were. Liu Ningyan's face turned pale as she could only tremble and utter two words, "Teammates," the image of the horrific scene flashing in her mind. When her teammates were trampled to pieces by this beast, she was left in shock. Liu Ningyan hugged her trembling body, tears of sorrow streaming down her face. She sobbed, They were taken away and killed, eaten. It's so terrifying. There's blood everywhere." Tan Fong saw her lonely figure. He sighed inwardly. The big fish eats the small fish is the basic rule of this world. It was time, yet she still couldn't get used to it. Liu Ningyan grasped Tan Fong's hand, pleading, "Tan Fong, please, can you save them? They have all been captured by those elephants. Those monsters said they would eat them tonight." Tan Fong realized they were a herd of mammoth monsters, so he had a chance. Tan Fong assured Liu Ningyan, "I will save them. You leave this place first." "This is not a place for you to be," Liu Ningyan anxiously said, "but there are too many monsters. I can help you." Tan Fong coldly replied, "Your level is too low to help. You can't help me." Liu Ningyan insisted, "I know where they are. I can lead you there." "You can't help me." Liu Nian insisted, suggesting that if I knew where they were, I could lead you there. Tan Fong felt a bit annoyed that he refused to let me find them. Liu Ying stammered, suggesting that they might like it. "I can make human flesh tender," Liu Ying said, looking at Tan Fong with suspicion. "Aren't you scared?" Liu Ying replied, "But I'm their teammate. Saving them is my responsibility. I can't just rely on you because you're strong." Liu Ying placed her hand on Tan Feng's arm, her big eyes filled with determination, and said, "Please let me contribute a little." After thinking for a moment, he decided to agree to let her follow him, secretly pleased that this girl wasn't completely useless. In the level 10 beast zone, on a vast and breezy prairie, the sound of drums and gongs rose as two snake spirits joyfully danced with their remaining teammates. Bound to a large tree, feeling extremely unstable and scared, the mammoth elephants surrounded the two snake spirits who sang merrily together. As they lit a fire for the feast, Loajiak approached the flames, his eyes filled with greed. 2 elephants had been sent out to hunt while the party was in full swing, and one was furious. "Damn, with only 6 humans, how can we have enough to eat? By the time it's our turn, there'll probably be nothing left," the other one consoled him. "If those humans hadn't stumbled into the teleportation array, we wouldn't even get a bite of that meat," the annoyed one scolded the little guy Fo Loi. "Why is it taking so long to catch the fleeing humans? Is he eating the scraps by himself?" The other one calmly replied, "If he eats a human without the king's permission, he'll face punishment. He wouldn't dare." The 2 elephants continued into the forest. One spotted a corner of a human's clothing peeking out from behind a rock and said to the other, "I remember the king saying that if we catch a human to offer up, we could get an extra leg when sharing food. Is that true?" The other happily replied, "Yes." So he picked up the stick, puffing with excitement, and joyfully exclaimed, "Today is truly my lucky day." "Lucky to go down early," Liu Ying said, looking at the 2 elephant corpses lying in the pit. "I just used them as bait. The heavenly Tao gave me an extra 60 energy points." The other replied, I was thinking about the legs of the desert monster. After extracting them, they are sharp enough to cut through the ferocious beast, but I want to make the wounds deeper." "Then I need to add mental control." Tan Feng turned to Liu Ying and said, "Close your eyes." She replied confused, Okay." Tan Feng absorbed the essence of the 2 elephants. In his heart, he secretly planned that adding mental control would consume his energy, and the effect wouldn't be as good as using the wind silver blade to kill. Next time, he needed to change his hunting method. The system continuously notified him of successful extraction. He received the E-level talent for infinite physical enhancement successfully. He received the E-level talent for physical enhancement twice, and the talent automatically planted and evolved successfully. The talent evolved into D-level Heavenly Beast, enhancing physicality. After collecting all the spoils, Tan Feng told Liu Ying she could open her eyes now. He handed Liu Ying a pill and explained, "This is a first-level defense item dropped by that elephant. When attacked, it can form a protective cage around your body." Liu Ying looked at what was in her hand, feeling grateful. Tan Feng coldly said, "Don't get me wrong. You still have to continue being bait. Don't cause too much trouble." Liu Ying cheerfully replied, "Thank you." She ran after Tan Feng, happily thinking to herself that he hadn't changed at all. Still cold on the outside, but warm on the inside, Tan Feng concluded after several battles with the ferocious beast that the poison in the venom bag of the 10th level snake still worked on the 12th level ferocious beast. The hellfire could easily break through the defense of the frenzied ferocious beast and kill it. Liu Ying, watching from outside, saw Tan Feng. It only took a few moves to finish off a level 10 beast. She couldn't help but admire. Tan Feng let Liu Ying personally finish off the ferocious beast while he continued to ponder. The point of the raging beast statue is located at the neck, limiting its actions. Even at level 4, it can be taken down there. The shout interrupted Tan Feng's thoughts as the two glanced over at a pack of 5 elephants charging toward them, roaring about how humanity dared to ambush their kin. "I will trample you to death and devour you alive." Tan Feng merely stood with his arms crossed, watching the crazed ones, feeling quite pleased. A new test subject had appeared. The lead elephant ordered the human to be killed. The other elephants, fueled by a frenzied will, charged forward, and as they rushed, the ground erupted with slimy vines. One of them, slightly scared, asked, "What is this?" The lead elephant disdainfully replied, "A trap set by humans. Those weak vines will harden in an instant and shoot out at high speed." The raging beast statues couldn't react in time. They were all attacked and knocked down by the vines except for one who managed to fend them off. Tan Feng watched the unfolding scene below with great satisfaction, knowing that the raging beast statue would come here upon realizing its kin had gone missing. That's why he had set traps around the 4 corners. As the bloodshed unfolded below, she felt a bit uneasy while Tan Feng looked down at the contemptuous raging beast statues. "They have arrived. All of you become my tools for leveling up." The system announced, 5 raging beast statues of level 12 killed, gaining 610 energy points. So now only 1 raging beast statue was left, and Tan Feng's excitement grew, easily breaking the spikes of the desert creature, which were harder than level 2 weapons. This elephant is interesting. The raging beast statue charged at Tan Feng with fierce intent, roaring about humanity. His entire body was enveloped in golden battle aura, crackling like thunder. He was a mutated beast general. Level 12 combat power rated at 21 stars. Attributes include bloodthirsty rage, innate physical enhancement at level E, earth sense at level E, and unclear skill drop rate at 1.2%. The raging beast statue leaped high, aiming to cleave Tan Feng in half. Remaining calm, Tan Feng stood still, channeling his energy into his blade. As the raging beast statue fell, Tan Feng raised his sword to meet it, wanting to slice it in half, but their strengths were nearly equal. Tan Feng jumped aside as the elephant's strike hit the ground, shaking the surroundings like an earthquake. He marveled at the opponent's strength, which was double that of the raging beast statue. After just one clash, his hand began to numb. He swung his sword in a circular arc, slicing into the back of the beast, quietly assessing. Its skin was quite tough, but not to the point of being unbreakable. The raging beast statue turned back to glare at Tan Feng, cursing him with disdain, "You despicable human." The battle aura around him grew stronger. He confidently grasped his bicep and declared, "My body has been blessed by the king. All wounds will heal." "You can't kill me." The wounds on his back were healing as Tan Feng smiled, finding it amusing that he could heal automatically. If only he could absorb such abilities. Now he was even more determined. Tan Feng withdrew his sword and asked, "Very impressive and practical, but I have a question. Does such an ability have limitations?" He took the initiative to attack. Both Tan Feng and the raging beast statue fought fiercely evenly, matched their weapons clashing and sparking in the area. After a while, Tan Feng concluded about this guy's healing ability. Both his strength and attack speed were declining. He recalled the battle, analyzing that he had struck 75 times, hitting 60 of those with 5 critical wounds. The wounds were quite significant, with 30 normal wounds and 10 minor ones. The minor wounds healed very quickly, almost instantly, while the normal wounds took 1 to 2 seconds. Major wounds required 3 seconds, and the critical wounds had gone from 5 seconds to now 15 seconds. The raging beast statue collapsed, its back covered in wounds. Tan Feng asked, "Hey, elephant, has your healing ability reached its limit?" Tan Feng disdainfully snapped his fingers and said, "It seems your king no longer blesses you." The reminder system of the Wind Tianqi recognized the hellfire damage, adding 100 to the wind's hellfire attack on the fierce demon statue, causing flames to erupt around him. Tien held the sword with both hands, the energy swirling around the blade, his eyes gleaming with a cold light as he declared the end, slicing through the fierce demon general's neck as he passed by. The system congratulated him for killing the fierce demon general at level 12, successfully achieving the mutation level. Receiving 700 energy points as the first to kill the fierce demon general at level 12, he also earned 3 prestige points at the king's tent of the tribe. The fierce demon statue eyes closed suddenly awoke with a feeling of loss flooding his mind. The guard hurried over, worried, asking the king what was wrong. The king of the fierce demon statue spoke slowly and quietly, "My loyal guard has been killed," as 2 serpent spirits approached, patting his shoulder in the willow forest, calling out to Tien. Tien swung his fist. This was the dragon's fist, enhancing his defense by 20, physical strength by 5, and earth resistance by 10%. With one punch, the ground and rocks ahead turned to dust. Liu Nian stood within the barrier, puzzled, wondering when it all started. Tien's emotions gradually worsened. Something was wrong. He clenched his teeth in frustration, recalling how excited he was after defeating that fierce demon statue eager to collect his powers. But no matter how many times he tried, he couldn't extract it. It was truly strange. Why couldn't he extract the healing ability? Tien remembered when that guy spoke about the king granting power, trying to analyze it, but only getting more confused. Men held his head in discomfort, and Liu Nian, seeing him pacing silently and frustrated, grew even more curious. After thinking for a moment, Tien looked up and smiled, slapping his hand against his palm in delight. "That's right, if I don't have help from my little brother, then I should go find his king." Liu Nian watched Tien's expression change awkwardly, then after a moment she hid behind a rock, peeking out. Ahead were 2 fierce demon statues discussing something, looking very tense. Liu Nian warned Tien that there were at least 30 head elephant demons. Even if he was strong, he would still get hurt. Liu Nian suggested that they quietly rescue the boss and then return to the newbie village through the teleportation gate. "Those elephants can't enter the teleportation gate." Tien maintained his cold expression, pouring a strange purple substance onto the sword, the ring glowing with green energy that enveloped the blade. Tien told Liu Nian not to be disappointed. Then Tien led Liu Nian to see the elephant demons surrounding a fire, cheering and dancing. He pointed to the right and said to follow him while looking over there. 2 elephants were guarding Loa and his tied-up teammates. Tien explained to Liu Nian that the situation seemed very favorable for them. They just needed to ambush the 2 elephants in the forest. They could secretly rescue her teammates, which was lucky and convenient. But did she ever think this could be a trap? Liu Nian gasped, exclaiming as she looked at the fierce demon statues joyfully dancing around the fire. Tien continued to analyze that a squad of fierce demon statues would pursue them. This was because the herd of elephants sensed that 8 of their friends were missing, and this squad had no news, likely alarming the statue king after observing the fake feast they had set up. They intended to lure their group into a trap. He continued to analyze that they deliberately left the Loa group in the weakest defensive position while indulging in music and revelry. Analyzing up to this point, Tien gently concluded, "It's just a trap inviting us to walk right in." Liu Nian found it hard to believe and hesitated to retort, saying, "But they are just beasts, how could they?" Tien calmly explained. The higher the level of the beast, the higher its intelligence. Using strategies is something they can also predict. Underestimating them could lead to death without knowing why. He quickly stood up and sternly advised, "There will be a battle here. You should stay away." "Wait!" Liu Nian panicked, stopping him. "You can't go. This is a trap." I couldn't help but curve my lips slightly, feeling a bit amused, saying this is a trap made just for me. It would be a shame if I didn't go seeing you just dive right into it. Liu Yuan immediately raised his hand worriedly, calling his name in his heart, while the others were still busy acting to create a festive atmosphere. Suddenly, a few guys in the group saw the wind rushing in, so one of the Hell Soldier dogs quickly informed everyone that he had appeared. The others heard this and immediately turned hostile, discussing among themselves as if chanting a spell that he was coming. They really wanted to eat him. The smell of humanity. Unexpectedly, he really appeared. Will the despicable humans kill him? After finishing their discussion, the group of Hell Soldier dogs retreated together, forming 2 lines to clear the way for the wind to advance towards the Hell Soldier Dog King. As he walked, he silently calculated in his heart a total of 67 Hell Soldier dogs and 3 Hell Soldier guards. Suddenly, a few Hell Soldier dogs spoke up. "He killed the guard. Look at him, he seems weak. How could he kill our warrior? He must have used some despicable trick. He's truly a despicable person. hearing their mocking comments. The wind didn't bother to argue, but just glanced at them with a very cold gaze, then couldn't help but feel a surge of anger and thought to himself, "Just you guys dare to speak ill of me behind my back." The Hell Soldier dogs felt cold sweat break out and exclaimed that this human was too intimidating. At that moment, the Hell Soldier Dog King suddenly snorted twice to attract the wind's attention, holding a mermaid in one hand and letting the other hang down, speaking arrogantly. "Human, you finally arrived." Hearing this, I politely replied, "I've heard of the King of the Plains for a long time. Today, meeting you is indeed impressive," and I silently assessed. He internally assessed that the combat power was only 6 stars higher than mine, lower than I imagined. The Beast King level intelligence should be at least like this elephant-headed creature, right? The system notification immediately appeared and displayed. The Beast King, the Hell Soldier Dog King, belongs to the King level 12 with a combat power rating of 25 stars. Its characteristics include violent blood protection, territorial consciousness, physical enhancement level D, earth control level D, and unclear skills with a drop rate of 100%. The Beastman Statue King chuckled with narrowed eyes upon hearing Tan Feng's words, saying, "Ah, the humans. You really know how to talk, but you've killed 14 of my people, including one who was a very trusted guardian of mine. The Beastman clan has been humiliated like this. How should I deal with you?" In response to his threatening question, Tan Feng remained calm and confidently stated his guess. "The Statue King is setting a trap to lure me in. I suspect it's not just about wanting my life," he sighed, acknowledging, "Indeed, you're much more formidable than those dead fools." The priests behind him were startled and called out to the king. He ignored them and continued, "I have a high regard for you," pointing directly at Tan Feng and loudly commanded, "Serve me." Hearing this, Tan Feng was taken aback, thinking to himself, "What is he suggesting? Not only will he absolve you of all crimes, but he will also promote you to be a guardian of the fierce beasts. You will have all the delicacies and treasures a woman could desire. You will be the luckiest human in all of heaven and earth." Tan Feng pretended to negotiate, saying, "Before I make a decision, I have a question for the Statue King." He couldn't help but marvel inwardly at the invitation for a human to join the fierce beasts. "The intelligence of this Statue King is truly not low." The Beastman Statue King calmly replied, "Ask away." Hearing this, Tan Feng immediately voiced his doubts about the so-called powerful world of experts. Everyone can ride the clouds and winds, leaving mountains and filling seas. Even a simple wave of the hand can destroy heaven and earth. I wonder if that's really true. It's just boasting, really. Hearing him ask like that made the old man curious too, asking if Tan Feng knew about this powerful world. The old man was a bit surprised and replied that he didn't know, thinking that this human expert was just talking nonsense. The orange-haired mermaid suddenly smiled, her eyes sparkling, marveling at such grandiose claims of moving mountains and destroying the world. It seems that only the heavenly path can achieve such things. The mighty Demon King added, "The Lost Prairie is the end of the world you mentioned. It doesn't exist." Tan Feng quickly crossed his arms and silently mocked. He felt nothing in his heart. The true Side-Eye also didn't know that the powerful world in the mission was truly disappointing. The King of Statues turned out to be trapped in this little heaven and earth. Knowing nothing at all, Tan Feng decisively swung his sword. Seeing this, the mighty Demon King asked in a deep voice, "Is this your decision?" Tan Feng stepped forward, calm and composed. In front of the fierce gazes of the mighty Demon Kings, he spoke up, "To submit to the King of Statues means turning my back on humanity and joining the ranks of the 5 fierce beasts. That would get me scolded to no end. I can't make such a decision lightly." Saying this, he stopped standing tall before the mighty Demon Kings, a proud smile appearing on his lips. When he raised his sword, coldly challenging, "Unless you defeat me." Suddenly, a series of beeping sounds rang out. Miyamoto stood still, his serious gaze fixed on the virtual screen in front of him. Takeda quickly turned his head to look as an eager old man appeared on the screen, saying urgently, "Miyamoto-kun, I am Amir Khan from number 446. Not taking his eyes off the screen, Miyamoto asked in a deep voice, "What's going on?" Amir immediately explained, "I heard that in the new village number 911, there's a sea-level genius from the Long Kingdom with an extremely fast leveling speed. Tomorrow he will definitely become the number 1 expert. The second in the first district has several strong villages wanting to recruit him. If the Long Kingdom takes the upper hand later, I fear you won't be able to live well in the 6 worlds." From the screen, Amir's voice continued, "Of course, I believe that with your strength, Miyamoto-kun, you can handle it." After the old man finished speaking, Miyamoto coldly swung his sword, slicing through the virtual screen, which immediately vanished. Then Miyamoto calmly said, "This is the 5th time using it. The forced communication tool to contact me. While Miyamoto pondered the item in his hand, Takeda, with a serious expression, spoke up. I heard Amir Khan fought against the extreme resources and lost. Tan Fong had always wanted to take revenge on those who meant no good. I think we should be more careful, someone beside him added. Miyamoto-kun has A-level talent, powerful. Killing Tan Fong is as easy as squashing an ant. Miyamoto's face suddenly turned fierce after hearing those words. He crushed the item in his hand coldly, saying, No problem, just as they wish. Immediately, an emergency alert from the system rang out, announcing that the new village number 5 had activated the betting order. Forced communication from new village number 911 initiated the resource betting for this competition. The new village will have the first expert to reach level 9 win this betting match. In another development, the mighty Demon King, with his gigantic frame and immense strength, swung 2 scythes toward Tan Fong, who nimbly dodged. He then flew high, delivering a sharp sword strike downward in that moment. He silently assessed the energy armor as quite sturdy, but before he had time to think, the mighty Demon King unexpectedly swung another blade. Tan Feng panicked and shouted, This is bad! If he couldn't injure the Statue King, he wouldn't be able to assess its healing abilities right after that. The fierce demon Statue King unleashed a new move, a shimmering net enveloping Tan Feng, which was a soil-type shield that restrained all his movements. Taking advantage of that moment, the fierce demon Statue King swung its scythe hard, sending Tan Feng flying far away, his body crashing against the rock, and a mouthful of blood spilled from Tan Feng as he struggled. Using his sword as a support to prop himself up, his other hand painfully clutched his chest, feeling helpless as he thought about the soil-type shield drawn from the fierce demon general. Yet it couldn't stop a blow from the fierce demon Statue King, who, with a majestic appearance and a gleaming scythe pointed straight at him, declared in an authoritative voice, You have a talent for soil. You are quite compatible with the fierce demon clan. I will give you one last chance to think. Tan Feng coughed a few times, cursing under his breath. Damn it, good thing I still have a trump card. At that moment, brilliant rays of light emanated from his hand, and Tan Feng smirked coldly, saying, If you want me to join, fine. You abdicate, he roared. I will be king instantly. The ground erupted with gigantic stakes rising up to block the fierce demon Statue King, catching him off guard, but his face quickly filled with anger. Humans don't know what's good for them. With a few powerful slashes, the large stakes were completely destroyed, and the fierce demon Statue King's eyes burned with rage as he roared. Prepare to face my wrath! Controlling the earth, he sensed something unusual was about to happen, and his body suddenly felt heavy, unable to react as he was swept away by a large sand vortex. Even though Tan Feng had noticed the anomaly and quickly tried to lean away, the flowing sand had already succeeded. It surged forward and wrapped around his limbs, extremely flexible and agile, pulling Tan Feng deeper and deeper. Not only that, the flowing sand also formed large ropes that tightened around Tan Feng's neck. Despite this, he held himself back from panicking. The Statue King's skill was indeed hard to deal with. While thinking, Tan Feng gritted his teeth and resisted fiercely, using all his strength to try to break free, shouting, Control the earth and solidify at that moment. The sharp sand whirlpools were about to poke into Tan Feng's eyes, and he was nearly going crazy. Hurry up and solidify! Finally, that move took effect, solidifying all the sand that was attacking him, saving him from the brink of death, as the sand gradually shattered and blew away with the wind. Tan Feng breathed a sigh of relief. That was close, he almost got pulled down by the quicksand. Just as he regained his breath, the Statue King's massive sharp blade came crashing down. He called out, Human Tan Feng! Reacting quickly, he turned to face that devastating strike. In the blink of an eye, Tan Feng swiftly soared high, avoiding the spot where he struck down. It was unimaginable how any flesh could withstand that blade. The ground where the Statue King's attack landed exploded violently. As he flew to a superior position, Tan Feng unleashed a barrage of sharp rays from his sword. Counterattacking, he commanded the Statue King, who compared to him was equally matched. He stood proudly amidst the rain of arrows, having created a transparent armor around himself. No matter what, it was hard to pierce through, yet that armor wasn't perfect. Tan Feng's move could still affect him a little. Tan Feng observed closely the damage he had taken. He concluded that the fiery spikes had struck true, and suddenly a dangerous streak of light appeared in the mist, rapidly heading straight for Tan Feng. He was caught off guard because, after all, the one being attacked was him, and in his observation, the Statue King hadn't moved at all. This overconfidence from Tan Feng had allowed him to take the full force of the attack, sending him flying. Tan Feng used his sword and the body he had trained for years to withstand it, struggling to stay upright. The Statue King firmly held 2 blades and asked, What kind of move is this that can injure me? It was naive beyond words, he easily revealed. his own weakness to the opponent. He muttered, "I can hurt you," his eyes sparking with determination and resolve as he shouted, "Then once again." Finishing his words, Tan Feng pressed his hand to the ground, channeling his inner strength to summon hellfire. Instantly, a surge of energy erupted, blasting away all obstacles and charging straight at the Statue King. He's really brave. Holding two crossed swords, he stood firm, ready to face whatever came his way without flinching. But this time, everything was different. That fierce blue flame had truly ignited. The protective layer turned to tiny particles drifting away as if it never existed. Without the protective barrier, the Statue King realized he was in a precarious situation. His eyes widened in disbelief as the notification appeared. It warned that the target was vulnerable to hellfire. Those flames not only burned but also sliced through flesh. The scene was truly horrific, and Tan Feng furrowed his brow tightly. Finally, he had broken through its defenses. Its healing speed was now much slower than that of the fierce guardian. Could it be the hellfire? The Statue King, like a wild beast, could no longer bear it and went berserk, roaring and smashing everything, shaking the very earth. However, he was still regarded as a leader. No more destruction. What was the point in such reckless behavior at a life-and-death moment? The Statue King carved out a massive block of stone, lifting it high to deliver a blow. 7 seconds later, he wasted no time and hurled that gigantic stone towards Tan Feng with all his might. It seemed he wanted to finish him off with such a large stone. Dodging was difficult, discarding it was even harder. Tan Feng decided to use all his strength to brace himself, risking his life. Of course, human strength has its limits. He gritted his teeth, channeling his earth control to transform the sand. Yet the stone still bore down on him, ready to crush him. His energy had dropped to a low level, making it impossible to use any other skills. A thunderous roar startled him, and in that moment he felt fear. What stood before him was the imposing Statue King declaring, "Human, this king will enjoy you." But the mercy of this king could induce hallucinations. The Statue King temporarily lifted the stone, and Tan Feng knelt, sweat pouring down his expression, showing he could hardly hold on any longer. He glared with rage and unwillingness, cursing the hellfire for draining his energy too much. On the other side, the Statue King commanded to control the Earth system. Instantly, the stone transformed into hundreds of fists, relentlessly pounding towards him. He maliciously declared, "This king will make you truly taste what suffering is." Tan Feng could only stand there, bracing for the onslaught. Liu Yi hiding nearby. Witnessing the entire scene of devastation that Tan Feng was enduring from the Statue King, she felt a deep pain, her mind in chaos. What to do, what to do? Tan Feng was about to be beaten to death. What should she do? She urged herself to take action. What could she possibly do? Alone and limited in ability, Liu Yi quickly fell into despair. She clutched her head, feeling insane, blaming herself for everything. It was all her fault. What should she do? Maybe she should just die. It was all her fault. She shouldn't have called for Tan Feng. She had doomed him to die. She was just unlucky. It was all her fault. What to do? Those toxic thoughts consumed her. Just as she sank into the depths of despair, a gentle voice broke through, awakening Liu Yi's senses. Calmly, she looked up, tears still streaming down her cheeks. She remembered that he had once told her, "If you can't stay calm, there's only one way to die." Back then, the two of them were training in a forest area, discovering various things. He gently explained that during battle, when the 4 stats dropped, the ability to act for an ordinary person would be limited. They could choose to rest or eat something to recover. He held a spirit herb in his hand, looking at her sincerely, saying that in a critical situation, they could use spirit herbs or spirit fruits to replenish the 4 stats. In that moment, those memories flooded back to Liu Yi, vividly urging her to save him as the information panel provided. You can use spirit herbs and spirit fruits to boost your stats in an instant. Memories flooded back vividly, urging her to save him with the information provided. But unfortunately, after the Lin Thao Lin fruit was harvested, it had to be used quickly, otherwise its effectiveness would drop significantly. Liu Yan, with a heart full of determination, spoke up, tears in her eyes. The Lin Thao Lin fruit could help Tan Feng. She sincerely knelt down, conveying the message with all her heart. "My fellow countrymen, I am a friend of Tan Feng." At that moment, Tan Feng was fighting for his life in an extremely critical situation. "We urgently need the Lin Thao Lin fruit. Please everyone help us immediately." The news quickly spread in all directions, causing a commotion. "Tan Feng is in danger. Where is he? I want to help. How can you prove that what you said is true? You tell Tan Feng to say something? Is there any news yet? I already said the situation is extremely critical. How can Tan Feng speak now? Such a big deal, how could I possibly deceive everyone? Please, everyone help. Tan Feng has appeared." People were so anxious they started cursing, disregarding their dignity. "Tan Feng won't die, right?" "Right. Our battle for survival is doomed. I don't want to lose to those little demons. Immediately take the Lin Tao and hide it for a trade with Tan Fong. Instantly, many people united to help. Yes, I'll trade too. I have a Lin Tao, but there are fierce beasts guarding it. Who can come help me locate it? Our team will be there right away. I also have a Great Elder. We must hold on. Great Elder, hang in there. The Lin Tao has been delivered and provided to Tan Fong. They all united. Great Elder Tan Fong, we are your support. A flood of information came in with Vuong Vu sending you the Bloodlin fruit and Mak Vu sending you the Thien Kot herb. Lu Nguyen sends you the Kot Mok herb and Trin Tui sends you the Huoloi fruit. With that, Tan Fong gradually regained his breath and his complexion showed a hint of vitality. What's going on? Vuong was utterly astonished. He didn't respond. Instead, he stood up and grabbed a Lin Thao Lin fruit. There was no time for debate. He needed to fight right now, holding the Lin Thao Lin fruit, his mouth continuously absorbing its essence. Not a word was spoken, leaving his opponent completely bewildered. He shouted, "What are you doing, human?" In the blink of an eye, his strength recovered, plus 10 vitality, plus 20 vitality, plus 20 agility, plus 15 strength, gradually filling up. Or rather, it was even stronger than before. The Statue King in a hurry wielded his scythe and charged at the four human beings, but Tan Fong now was like the moon compared to the sun just 10 minutes ago. He struck down with a blow that shook the heavens, summoning that deadly azure flame once again. Dust filled the sky, creating an illusion. While the Statue King was busy clearing the smoke to locate him, Tan Fong appeared like a fierce deity, calmly asking, "What am I doing?" Tan Fong, engulfed in azure flames, advanced with his sword. He stopped at a beautiful distance, his eyes sharp. Of course, Tan Fong leaped up, sword raised with the proud smile of a strong man. The Statue King was now in complete disarray. While he was still looking around nervously, Tan Fong lunged forward, driving his sword into the Statue King. He approached him, saying, "Sorry I missed my swing earlier." The Statue King was so frightened he froze, cold sweat pouring down, questioning how a mere human could do this. Tan Fong pierced straight through the Statue King. With an expressionless face, he coldly said, "I wanted to behead you with one blow." The Statue King's subordinates were terrified, standing frozen like statues. The Statue King was completely defeated, and from his heart a piece of information emerged indicating he received the core of the Earth-type King. Tan Fong was browsing through the system panels. The system continuously displayed new notifications such as, "You have killed the fierce demon Statue King level 12, successfully gaining 4000 energy points." The system continuously displayed new notifications like, "Kill the level 12 Beastman Statue King, successfully earn 4000 energy points. Successfully reached the King level. Collected the quest item, the Royal Core of the Earth System, after defeating the fierce demon statue at level 12, successfully reaching the King level. Collected the white silver treasure, your level has increased to level 9, agility plus 10, physique plus 10. Announcement, Tan Fong Village 911 has reached level 9 for the first time. Tan Fong Village 911 has won the resource betting this time. Congratulations to Tan Fong for receiving an additional 50 bonus attribute points. Tan Fong Village 911's resources have doubled, and now the soldiers of the fierce demon priest are here. They continuously appeared in large numbers with their blood-red eyes shining brightly, shouting for revenge for the Statue King to kill him. Revenge for the Statue King. Tan Fong was overwhelmed by them. He tried to use his skills to escape while the statue's soldiers surrounded him, shouting loudly, "Don't think that just because you outnumber me you can win." At this moment, Tan Fong charged forward, swinging his sword at the fierce demon priest's soldiers while shouting, "Heavenly Tao distributes attribute points." Around him, it felt like entering a different space at that moment. The system panel continuously displayed numerous new notifications. Successfully killed the fierce demon statue at level 12. Received 610 energy points for successfully killing the fierce demon statue at level 12. Received 610 energy points, level 9, 1-200 out of 100,000. Class Judge level 2, not over 200 fame, ranked 29 among the newcomers. Strength 223 plus 7 enhanced strength level D. Agility 241 plus 15 enhanced speed level D. Physique 217 enhanced physique level D. Poison resistance plus 100%. Spirit 274 enhanced will level D. Hearing enhancement level E. Vision enhancement level E. Smell enhancement level F. Elemental affinity. Earth control level D, fire control level D, darkness control level D. Bloodline talent enhancement. Bloodline level, E-Dragon Blood talent. Infinite Destiny acquired level SSS skill. True Sight level 1, Hellfire level 2, Huyen Tin transformation level 2. Self-healing level 1. Guardian Technique Level 3. Combat Power Evaluation, 23 stars. At Tan Fong's feet, a glowing circle like a formation appeared. Tan Fong jumped up and charged down to attack the fierce demon warrior, shouting loudly. The feeling of power continuously surged, truly exhilarating. Tan Fong attacked them so fast that they couldn't react, and Tan Fong continued to shout, "Let's go!" The system panel appeared again with a new notification. Successfully killed the fierce demon statue at level 12. Received 610 energy points after defeating the fierce demon priest's soldiers. Tan Fong, panting, landed on the ground. In the distance, the fierce demon priest was pointing at him. Then the fierce demon priest turned around and said to his tribe, "You all step back behind your kin. Wait until he gets close, then ambush." Everyone shouted in response. The fierce demon priest then laughed loudly, confidently, saying, "I don't believe you alone can stop over 10 fierce demon warriors." As soon as he finished speaking, the fierce demon warriors immediately charged forward, their eyes blood-red, continuously swinging their swords and roaring at Tan Fong. Suddenly, Tan Fong's eyes lit up. A blue light enveloped Tan Fong's pupils. He then reached out his hand, casting magic. Blue flames erupted from his hand, spreading everywhere. Tan Fong merely smiled and said, "Yes, Hellfire." He used magic to engulf the area in a sea of blue flames, causing the fierce demon warriors to scream in pain. The system panel displayed new notifications. Successfully killed the fierce demon guardian at level 12, mutated, and received 1,700 energy points. Successfully collected the copper treasure. Tan Fong then looked towards the fierce demon priest and thought to himself, "The fierce demon priest commanding the whole herd is indeed a troublesome character." Immediately, Tan Fong charged in to attack him running while shouting, "Let's deal with you first." The fierce demon priest, seeing this, was frightened and trembled, shouting. Suddenly, a fierce demon warrior rushed out, taking a fatal blow for the fierce demon priest. At this moment, the fierce demon priest was extremely terrified, standing still. Tan Fong looked at the fierce demon warrior. He collapsed right in front of him. Tan Fong then spoke again. "Could it be that this fierce demon priest also has the ability to control beasts?" The system panel displayed a new notification. Successfully killed the fierce demon guardian at level 12, mutated, and received 1,700 energy points. The fierce demon priest witnessed the scene of his kin collapsing to the ground. He trembled and instinctively shouted at the fierce demon priest, pointing directly at Tan Feng's face, and yelled loudly, "Attack him!" Tan Feng glanced over at the fierce demon priest. He had turned and fled far away, shouting as he ran, "Wait, I will definitely bring the fierce demon army back to kill you," seeing him run with all his might. Tan Feng helplessly said, "He's running away." Immediately, Tan Feng jumped up high and thrust his sword straight into the head of the fierce demon priest, causing him to freeze in place. At that moment, the system boards displayed new notifications. Just killed a level 12 fierce demon priest, successfully mutated, earning 1,700 energy points for killing a level 12 fierce demon priest successfully mutated. He picked up a bronze shield in his hand at that moment. Holding a small shield with a serious expression, Tan Feng said, "You still know how to run. Cover your eyes as if you have a bit of intelligence." After saying that, Tan Feng sheathed his sword and turned to look at the remaining fierce demon warriors rushing to attack him. And these guys aren't very smart. Then he suddenly charged forward and shouted loudly, "One strike to kill." Tan Feng punched hard into the ground, and his magical flames quickly spread. Wide and enveloping the fierce demon warriors, the system displayed new notifications again. Tan Feng, holding the sword, smiled faintly and looked at the new notifications appearing. Successfully killed a level 12 fierce demon statue. Earned 610 energy points for killing a level 12 fierce demon statue successfully. Earned 610 energy points for killing a level 12 fierce demon statue successfully. Earned 610 energy points for killing a level 12 fierce demon statue successfully. Earned 610 energy points for killing a level 12 fierce demon statue successfully. Liu Ying, hiding behind a rock, was now terrified, her face pale. Meanwhile, Loi Rak and the others who were tied up witnessed this scene and were so frightened that their eyes widened, mouths agape. No one said anything. But at the same time, they all thought, "Is this really a demon?" After that battle, the darkness was shattered and the smoke gradually dissipated. The sky became clear again with white clouds and golden sunlight. Then Loi Rak and the others bowed their heads. Offering fruits, he said, "Tan Feng, big brother, please accept this." Then Loi Rak raised his head, his face cheerful, saying, "You saved us. We have nothing valuable. Just these things." The boy beside him quickly spoke up. "To be saved by Tan Feng is truly a stroke of luck." Another boy next to him smiled and said, "Just a little token of appreciation. Please accept it." With hopeful eyes, they all opened their sparkling eyes, waiting for Tan Feng's response, but Tan Feng said, "These low-level items." Hearing this, they all felt sad and disappointed, their faces darkening immediately. Tan Feng then changed his tone and words, reaching out to touch the fruits, and said, "These fruits aren't bad." Suddenly, a golden chicken started clucking continuously. Chirp, chirp, chirp. The sudden noise made everyone freeze, feeling very awkward. Loi Rak hurriedly grabbed the golden chicken and said, I'm sorry, this is a useless item. I accidentally opened it. I forgot to throw away that golden chicken, which kept chirping. Tan Feng looked at the golden chicken and pondered for a moment. Interesting. Next, Tan Feng used his hand to touch the golden chicken. The system displayed information about the item super clucking chicken level, not rated combat power, not assessed noisy characteristics. Extremely noisy, super noisy, 1 chicken equals 100 chickens. Tan Feng then turned and walked away, saying as he left, I will accept these. It's incredibly noisy, super noisy. Tan Feng then turned and walked away, saying, I'll take these. The level 10 monster zone is not a place for you guys to stay. Hurry up and leave here. Everyone followed closely behind, and the boy in the hat said, Tan Feng is really concerned about us, which touched everyone. Another boy next to him added, so moving. He's really nice, I'm serious. At that moment, a gentle breeze swept through Liang Yan, causing her hair to flutter. She thought to herself, even though our time together hasn't been long, I know, you will definitely become the strongest. Looking at Tan Feng's figure from afar, Liang Yan still thought that the place he wants to go in the future is somewhere ordinary people like me can never reach. But that's okay, I will be like countless others always watching over you. Tan Feng looked at the trembling snake women in fear, then put on a frightening expression and said, so what should we do next with these 2 snake women? The orange-haired snake woman was terrified, but still tried to speak loudly with a trembling voice. Master, we are just dancers! The blonde snake woman quickly chimed in. We have never harmed any humans. Please spare us, Master. Suddenly, the system panel appeared with new information. Level 10 monster seductive snake woman. Combat power evaluation E-level seductive dance. Soft body, E-level harmless characteristics, feeds on spirit fruits, relies on dancing to survive, or clings to high-level monsters. Tan Feng reached out towards the snake woman. But in his mind, he was thinking that the combat power evaluation was surprisingly strong. Then Tan Feng touched something green. Behind the blonde snake woman's head, he thought to himself that he had noticed this thing from the beginning. Then Tan Feng snatched it away, thinking to himself, just as I thought, it's a plant. The system panel appeared, confirming the successful retrieval. Tan Feng then reached out towards the 2 snake women and said seriously, answer my questions and I'll let you go. Both snake women were crying, looking at Tan Feng with teary eyes. Suddenly, the 2 snake women ran away in a panic, not even having time to remove the ties from their heads. They just kept running, while Tan Feng stood there reading the system panel to check the notifications. He thought to himself that the peculiar talent like seductive dance and the soft body, he couldn't see the necessity of retrieving it. Suddenly, Tan Feng imagined himself transforming into a snake person and dancing those strange dances, and he was startled, thinking, damn, I can't stand it. No matter how he thought about it, it seemed unnecessary to withdraw. Suddenly, Tan Feng imagined transforming into a snake human and dancing in bizarre ways, startling himself and thinking, damn, I can't take it anymore. After that, Tan Feng walked over to where the corpses of the fierce warriors were gathered. He opened the system and thought about submitting the mission from 5 actions ago, organizing the loot this time. Then he headed to the next mission location. Suddenly, he noticed something, and Tan Feng snorted as the system panel displayed comments from others. Someone said, damn, I'm so pissed off those bastards lost and now they're accusing Tan Lao Dai of cheating. Others chimed in, questioning Tan Lao Dai's strength. He must be the strongest in the first area. They admired, envied, and hated others, adding, they lost and still dare to boast like that, they should get a good beating. Tan Feng read these lines. He was furious, his eyes wide open, and said, so they lost and are blaming me for cheating. Then Tan Feng took out an item called a betting token. His gaze was sharp as a knife, and he sneered, saying, those bastards haven't seen the grave yet. If that's the case, I'll give you a lesson to remember. The betting system appeared, updating the resource betting information. The betting order only appears once in each novice village, and only the highest level person in the village can use it. You have activated the betting order. Tan Feng received a reminder that each novice village only has 1 resource betting order, and each area has a chance to use it 100 times. This is the 79th betting round of the effective usage area. You're curious, and there are limits on the number of times you can participate. The more you want to join, the stronger the brave become, while the timid grow weaker. You take a look around and notice the top-tier experts like Edward Amikan and Miyamad. They dare to start the betting, risking it all even after losing before. But the weak, when given the resources to place bets, either hesitate and don't dare to use them, or choose to trade with the strong. You quickly scan the screen. You click on the betting interface, which has started inviting you to choose your betting method. You sigh in relief, glad you acted in time, otherwise you might have missed a great opportunity. The system displays options for you to choose a personal betting method for the individual betting arena. You select a novice village to proceed with the bet. The resources at the normal penalty level in the betting arena allow for multiple targets to be chosen as the arena. You can also invite the village of Min to join. Forming the arena to conduct the betting at a normal penalty level is extremely exciting, but you're worried about what to do. You can only defeat 20 or so rival villages once, and now the opportunity has come. Your eyes widen, shining brightly. This time you have to teach those people a lesson they'll never forget. After that, you make your choice and the system reminds you. The reminder states that as the initiator of the bet, if you lose, the punishment is doubled. If you win, the reward is doubled. Please choose the red village of your opponent. Novice village number 5. Novice village number 446. Novice village number 21. Please choose the red village of Feta. Novice village number 911. Novice village number 34. Novice village number 77. And complete the arena selection. A flash of lightning strikes down on the screen, and an emergency notification appears. Tan Fong from Novice Village 911 has initiated the betting command for the first time, starting the betting arena of the betting area. The resource acquisition for the opposing arena drops to 70%. Everyone loses 50 attribute points. The winning side receives double resources and everyone gains 50 attribute points. The solitary betting method of killing beasts can earn you accumulated points. Killing the beast earns points, but killing the boss cannot earn accumulated points unless the arena reaches 1000 points. Win first. Killing a level 5 beast earns 1 point, killing a level 6 boss earns 2 points, and killing a level 7 boss earns 3 points. As you calculate, a loud noise draws everyone's attention upwards. Some are curious while others are scared. A few shout, "Tan Lao Dai is pulling this off, no mercy for anyone who has ever insulted our long quok." Our village still has new level 1 members. If we lose points, it will drop to negative, fearing that the heavenly path might take their lives right on the spot. Tan Lao Dai is fierce and intimidating against the people from Country M. Country L Country, yeah ha 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 ha. They add, "What are we afraid of? We have Tan Fong Lao Dai. How could we possibly lose?" Exactly. Tan Lao Dai must have a plan for a guaranteed victory. The system announces that the current arena is the blue side Novice Village number 5, Novice Village number 446, Novice Village number 21. Novice Village number 383, Novice Village number 832, Novice Village number 114, Novice Village number 359, Novice Village number 513, Novice Village number 268, Novice Village number 753, Novice Village number 482. Novice Village number 369, Red Side Arena. Novice Village number 911, Novice Village number 34, Novice Village number 77. The number of red side arenas is 3, while the blue side has 24. During the betting process, both sides temporarily suspend the channel function. They begin to press the channel, stuttering ba 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 as the sounds of 2-4 echo throughout the area. Takeda says, "Miyamoto-sensei, there are 12 level 5s, 9 level 6s, and 2 level 7s. He adds that due to the resources being halved, everyone's strength has weakened. Among the level 5s, there are 6 who cannot handle the level 5 beasts alone. Miyamoto replies, "Yeah, if it weren't for Tan Fong cheating to win the last bet, we wouldn't have lost. This time we will definitely win. We have 24 novice villages while they only have 3. He draws his sword, his gaze fierce. "I will wash away the humiliation of last time with blood." He pats Takeda on the shoulder. "If we fail again, I will commit seppuku. You are the one I recommend." He feels moved, his voice trembling. "Miyamoto-sensei," and the system begins to announce. 10 minutes later, the betting officially starts. The countdown begins 0959. The dragon statue's defensive power increases by 20, physical strength by 5, and earth resistance by 100%. The dragon statue is protected. Strength increases by 30, giant strength increases by 25, earth resistance by 100%. As everything gradually forms an armor around Tan Fong, the dragon statue becomes enchanting. Defense power plus 70, physical strength plus 5, earth resistance plus 100%. Long Elephant King Kai defense power plus 110, physical strength plus 10, earth resistance plus 100%. As the shadowy figure gradually revealed itself agile and quick, his eyes opened fiery blue light, shining coldly. The system began to activate. Baingan successfully protected Duong. After receiving the 4th grade Fire Spirit Essence, he looked around his body, feeling a surge of abundant power as he successfully absorbed the Fire Spirit Essence. Earth Resistance plus 100% Fire System talent evolved to level C. He felt the power around him and joyfully exclaimed at the new equipment, sensing a significant increase in strength. The system displayed level 9, 23, 870 out of 100,000 class judge level 2, not exceeding 200 prestige, rank 29 among newbies. Strength 262 plus 58 enhanced level D. Agility 263 plus 15. Enhanced speed level D. Physical strength 277 plus 20 enhanced physical strength level D. Poison resistance plus 100% vitality. 274 enhanced mental focus level D. Enhanced hearing level D. Enhanced vision level D. Enhanced sense of smell level F. Fire. Elemental talent level C. Earth control level D. Fire control level D. Shadow control level D. Bloodline talent. Enhanced Bloodline level E. Dragon Blood talent. Infinite Fate extraction level SSS skill. True Sight level 1. Hellfire level 2. Mysterious Transformation level 2. Self-Healing level 1. Control Technique level 3. Combat Power Evaluation 28 stars. He rubbed his head. Combat Power 28 smiled and scrolled through the list. Great, now let's challenge the next Beast King. The system sequentially displayed notifications for Mission Level C. Break the seal of 5 actions without time limit. You have obtained the Royal Core of the Earth, suggesting to first go to the gathering place in the west. In the Lost Prairie, killing the Golden Ant Queen received the Royal Core of Gold. Reminder, the Golden Ant Queen is a level 13 royal beast, suggesting to form a group with at least 40 level 10 or higher experts. Tan Fong stroked his chin, thinking for a moment. Do we really need 40 experts from level 10? Could it be that the Golden Ant Queen's strength is double? The countdown timer appeared. 052929. He looked up. If that's the case, I need to prepare a few things. Poison is one of the greatest inventions in human history. With it, weak women can kill strong men. One person can take down an entire enemy squad. Some call poison the weapon of the weak, while others believe that as long as it can kill the enemy, it is a useful weapon. The toxin from the castor bean is one of the top 10 deadliest poisons. Its toxicity is 6,000 times that of strychnine. A dose of less than 1 milligram can be lethal. The most famous assassination using castor bean poison occurred in 1978. An international spy once used a head covered in castor bean toxin to carry out an assassination in a public case, and it was successful. The moment he saw the castor bean on the head of the female snake, a plan formed in his mind. He said next, and the system appeared successfully extracting the toxin. He continuously absorbed, and the system kept displaying successful toxin extraction. Toxin extraction successful. Toxin extraction successful. After absorbing it, he'd felt his body and was curious if this toxin was enough to kill 200 or 300 beasts. He decided to mix snake venom and castor bean toxin to see. Could it create something even more interesting? Untitled poisonous item, highly toxic. The system tested it. He looked at it and said, highly toxic. If I could find a beast to test it on, that would be great. Suddenly, a white tiger walked by. He turned his gaze to it. Its eyes sparkled as if saying, don't try it on me. It was a level 10 beast. Seeing it, his eyes lit up and he rushed toward it. Come here, little kitty. It was scared but couldn't run away. In an instant, it collapsed and died. He sighed. One drop could kill a level 10 beast in the blink of an eye. I truly am a genius. He stepped on its body with one foot. One hand pointed straight into the void. Determined to create a bit more before setting off to the great killing ground of Ningya Tucson, he stood high above, gazing down at the cool, fresh air of the valley below. The image of him standing there was no different from a king surveying his own kingdom, with the system announcing his rank as Class 01 in the basic resources of Tanthu Village. The effectiveness could be used to build Tanthu Village. He said to gather the good stuff first, then he squatted down, one hand on the ground, feeling it while the other summoned his weapon. Suddenly, he heard a noise and glanced back, surprised to see a gigantic monster appear from the rocky crevice, with its small offspring no bigger than an ordinary spider. But the number was considerable as they were leaving the nest, and the largest one glared at him with a fierce look. The system reminded him, Fierce Beast Metal-Eating Ant Level 12. Combat Power Rating 16 stars. Traits: Metal Devouring Fearless Absolute Protection. Innate Strength Enhancement Level E. Metal Sensing Level F. Skill Unknown Drop Rate 1.2%. The huge beast seemed to ignore him, moving to take the large stone, then looked around. Suddenly, large metal wires shot up from the ground, wrapping around its body. But fortunately, it dodged, using one large stone to block it, but another stone fell from the sky. It was puzzled, questioning the metal wires as they continued to rush towards it, piercing through its body from below. After dealing with it, he looked at his spoils and said that the metal sensing and earth control, when stacked, greatly increased the attack power. but the energy consumption also increased significantly. Looking back, those behind were the same size as the big one earlier, and he had already taken care of them, not to mention the spirit ants. This low intelligence also had a fearless nature. As he spoke, he used a finishing move on the monster he was stepping on. If he didn't strike accurately at their heads, they would still charge at him regardless. Even if their legs were destroyed, their bodies would split in half. The system reported, killed metal-eating ant received 8 accumulation points plus 620 experience points. He grumbled, "What a hassle. It would be much easier to use poison, but these giant ants are too scattered. With my current strength, I can't handle them all." Shouting at them in such a large area was impossible. He grabbed a monster he had just dealt with and hurled it far away, thinking of a way to make them gather in one place. He shouted loudly, "Hey, you ants, come attack me!" The head was thrown straight into the center of the ant swarm. They looked at him with furious red eyes, raising their spiky front legs in anger and growling loudly. He looked at the ants in front of him, thinking he couldn't understand what they were saying, but this scene was truly hair-raising. They gradually approached him, choosing the right moment. He concentrated on the poison again and shouted, "Come taste my freshly made poison!" He threw it down at them with force. A huge explosion occurred, poison enveloping them like rain falling to the ground, and none escaped. They hadn't even reached him before they fell like dead. The system reported, killed metal-eating ant level 12 received 8 accumulation points, 620 experience points. Received 8 accumulation points, 620 experience points for killing metal-eating ant level 12. Received 8 accumulation points, 620 experience points for killing metal-eating ant level 12. Received 8 accumulation points, 620 experience points. All the ants were dead, and he was pleased with such a huge haul. Understanding that giant ants like these were all points in energy, this was his support to win the battle. Suddenly, the system displayed a reminder that his personal accumulation points had reached 300. According to the rules, not letting it announce everything, he was startled and interrupted. "I know, don't bother me with this. Things like this don't need to be announced. I will definitely accept the rewards. If your camp wins, you will receive an excess reward." After finishing collecting, he looked up and saw that the giant monster was gradually recovering. The system displayed Fierce Beast Metal-Eating General Mutated Level 13 Combat Power Rating 23. Traits Metal Devouring Fearless Absolute Protection Innate Strength Enhancement Level E. Metal Sensing Level F Enhanced Tactile Level F Skill Unknown Drop Rate 13%. Its face was terrifying, and he thought to himself, "I summon the power of the metal wire along with another attribute that becomes a severe poison. If it can't penetrate the eyes of the ants, it will lose its effectiveness. Now I can only use this method." I swung my hand to control a large number of them that had been eliminated while others continued to evolve, crawling toward me. I looked at those monsters with disdain. I wanted to spread out to avoid attacks from the iron spikes. I smiled, more terrifying than innocent at such a close distance. My control ability has reached a level of perfect accuracy. Suddenly, a strange object flew in. I was caught off guard as it landed, heavily shattering the ground and creating a large hole. I sighed. No wonder they are high-level beasts. They threw stones at me, not just ordering the worker ants to close their eyes to avoid the dispersed poison, but also to defend themselves. It became harder for me, and they even knew how to use stones to distract me. I dodged while eliminating them, but considering the situation, I thought things were not looking good. If long-range attacks reduce effectiveness, then I'll switch to close combat. After that, I decisively drew my sword, preparing to fight them. I noticed the ant gnawing at my leg and realized that the mountain-climbing ants were meant to distract me. The air was filled with dust. I glanced at the ants with disgust, focusing on killing them. I fought my way down from the mountain, shouting, "Dragon, take care of yourself." The healing technique of the apocalypse has multiple layers of protection. To injure me, you must be dreaming in broad daylight. If you are so powerless, then let me become your nightmare. I killed the level 12 metal ant worker and received 8 accumulation points, adding 620 energy points. Surrounded by the swarm of ants, I kept slashing at them. While observing my surroundings, I killed the level 13 metal ant soldier and received 8 accumulation points, adding 670 energy points. One particularly aggressive ant raised its pincers, waiting for an opportunity. At this moment, I was surrounded by giant ants. Soon, a large swarm gathered around me, leaving me confused, wondering what was wrong with these ants. A whole swarm charged in at once, attacking me. I belatedly realized they wanted to bury me alive. At that moment, a tall green pillar descended from the sky, incinerating the ants. Except for the queen ant, there was no problem. The other ants were flung away, motionless. I killed the level 12 metal ant worker and received 8 accumulation points, adding 620 energy points. I emerged from the green flames looking impressive. I killed the level 13 metal ant soldier and received 9 accumulation points, adding 670 energy points. I killed another level 13 metal ant soldier and received 9 accumulation points, adding 670 energy points. My eyes sparkled with challenge as I opened my eyes wide, saying, "Look closely, this is my killer move." The power I created enveloped me and lifted me high. I gathered my strength and struck the wall, creating a large hole, killing the level 13 mutated metal ant commander successfully. Received 200 energy points for successfully killing the level 13 mutated metal ant commander. Received 20 accumulation points for successfully killing the level 13 mutated metal ant commander. Received 3 prestige points. I stepped on something. Outside the cave, the battle was fierce. I stood on the blood-soaked ground from the previous battle, looking at the cave, ready to ask why the rear ants hadn't come out yet inside the dark, foggy cave. Suddenly, a pair of shiny golden eyes appeared in the cave. A fierce ant rushed out from inside, and before I could react, it was finished off. Successfully killed. I leisurely brushed off my clothes. My personal accumulation points had now reached 800 points. The village score of 911 was 867 plus points from villages 34 and 77. I would soon be able to earn enough for 1000 points. I happily turned back to see if there were any remaining fish to catch, but it seemed the swarm of ants lying here was all gone. He calmly stepped onto the ground, causing it to sink as he entered the cave, using blue fire to illuminate the space, analyzing the damp air, the soft ground, and a scent reminiscent of chocolate. Tan Fong looked up at the chocolate-brown flow above him, recalling from a book that when ants are in danger, their heads release a pheromone signaling for help. His steps slowed down, cautious, while also releasing a chocolate-like scent to inform the other members of the colony, happily observing the cave before him. It seemed they were ready to welcome him as he stepped inside the devouring gold. Ant King was lounging there. Waiting for the phoenix from the other ants, she, feeling weak and drenched in sweat, let out a gasp. Below her, someone was waiting, witnessing her birth. They worked continuously, stacking the eggs with some hatching right from the mother. Tan Fong was astonished, sweating profusely at this sight. Suddenly, an ant lurking behind prepared to attack him, but he was still busy being amazed, realizing how she could rank 4th among the 5 great beast kings with her incredibly strong reproductive abilities. Alongside the colony of ants, risking their lives to protect even the 10 fierce demon beast kings, dared not confront her. The devouring gold ant queen ranked level 13 with a combat power rating of 30 stars. Controlling at D level, controlling metal at D level with unclear skill drop rates of 100%, as soon as its antennae touched him, it was blocked and immediately counterattacked. Regardless of the ant being sliced in half on the ground, he lamented how the fierce beast refused to lift one side while pressing down the other. That was truly dangerous. If he had reacted just a moment slower, I wouldn't just be injured. He suddenly sensed a source of power attacking him unexpectedly. It was the sound waves from the Gold Ant Queen as a swarm of red-eyed ants stared at him, crawling all over the ground, targeting him as they charged forward. He assessed the situation, offering a few compliments to the ants. They extracted a large amount of iron, refining it into black armor that covered the worker ants, truly clever. Tan Fong thought about extracting a large amount of pure material from the stone bed to create black iron armor on the worker ants while the Gold Ant Queen commanded the swarm to attack him. At this moment, Tan Fong shouted, "Against opponents like you, I've already killed hundreds outside." Although it's said that ants can bite an elephant to death in the face of absolute power, Tan Fong wielded his sword. Even greater numbers were merely a means for him to level up. Tan Fong extended his hand forward. "Try my special drink." In just a flash, Tan Fong had nearly wiped out the entire ant swarm, hoping the Gold Ant Queen above would be stunned. He looked directly into her eyes. Without hesitation, the Gold Ant Queen panicked. How could this be? As Tan Fong stepped forward, eliminating the small fry. Tan Fong leaped into the air, declaring, "Next come and accept your fate, Ant Queen." The Gold Ant Queen finally knew fear. The Gold Ant Queen spat out an unidentified liquid which flew toward Tan Fong. Fortunately, he managed to block it, thinking in midair that he couldn't change his trajectory. He had no choice but to confront it head-on. Suddenly, Tan Fong mused, "How strange there's no strong force. Could it just be a feint?" The crystalline layer on Tan Fong's hand began to melt. He thought that liquid must have extremely corrosive acid, but Tan Fong was not so easily defeated. Even the strongest defensive crystalline armor could be corroded. This was the Ant Queen's killer move. "Too bad you ran into me," Tan Fong unleashed his power. The Gold Ant Queen was about to spit out more liquid, but Tan Fong quickly intervened, stabbing down and shouting. The two types of deadly poison clashed violently, creating a massive shockwave. The Gold Ant Queen smiled smugly as Tan Fong's sword gradually disappeared behind the smoke. Tan Fong said, "Now, I invite you to die." As soon as he finished speaking, Tan Fong struck the Gold Ant Queen with a powerful blow, then landed gracefully. The Gold Ant Queen had collapsed before the might of his innate power. Tan Fong said, "Let's go to hell together with your children." The Vei Kim ant is on its last legs, unable to hold on any longer. The system announces the successful kill of the level 13 Vei Kim ant lord. You receive 1000 energy points, 4 prestige points, and the quest item, the Royal Core. You also get a silver white treasure. Duang Tan Fong sighs, "Not bad." So far, I've collected 2 types of Miyamoto cores. With one strike, I've taken down a big bear. Takeda says Miyamoto Dono, our accumulated points are now 62. According to my calculations, we have 24 villages and the total points must be over 600. Miyamoto responds, "At this rate, I might as well commit suicide." What a missed opportunity, others agree. Right, haha, this time we must make Long Kwok lose everything, the system displays. Announcement. In the opposing extreme camp, the red camp has reached 1000 points. The red side wins announcement. Village number 5 in the opposing camp has failed. All villagers lose 50 attribute points, and resource output decreases by 70%. The whole team is shocked. What the blue camp lost? My legs, I can't move anymore, damn it, the Long Kwok's attribute points are down to 7, help. The system announces total points for 4 attributes are below 10. This will be counted as paralysis. The system announces that Yamato Taro's attribute points have dropped to negative life ends. The system announces that Akita Keiko's points have also decreased. Negative points, life ends, continuous deduction of 10. Takeda calls out, "Miyamoto Dono, I'm paralyzed." Others cry out one after another, "Miyamoto Dono, please save me, what should we do?" "I don't want to die, help me, Miyamoto, my legs. I don't want to die, it's all your fault, help me, I can't move." "Why did you provoke Tan Fong, let me go?" Miyamoto stands frozen, speechless. "We've really lost..." At this moment, Tan Fong is still below the cave. He says, "Killing you won't increase energy points or accumulate points. Don't bother me." Each ant is tossed aside. Tan Fong continues, "If you want revenge for the Ant Lord, you at least need to be alive first. Get stronger first." The ant herd whispers among themselves, then they retreat. The system displays calculating rewards. Please wait a moment. Suddenly, Tan Fong notices something. The system reminds me that winning in the opposing camp, I didn't pay attention before. Let's see what rewards we get this time. The system announces prestige has reached 30 points. You receive the title of Newbie Lord, Strength plus 20, Agility plus 20, Stamina plus 20, Vitality plus 20. Extreme victory rewards are multiplied. Attributes plus 100 points. Personal accumulated points exceed 800. Attribute rewards plus 160 points. Extreme victory rewards 6 silver white treasures. Duong is the first to reach level 10 in Village 9. "I received a golden treasure." Tan Fong sighs. "So high prestige points lead to a title. Not bad, it was worth my effort to kill so many enemies. Plus the 7 silver white treasures I collected from killing the Ant Horde and the Ant Lord. Wait, when did I level up to 10? Tan Fong wonders, why haven't I seen this quest before? The system displays level 10 class. Judge level 2, prestige 42. Tan Fong clicks on the quest button. The system announces, "Congratulations, you've leveled up to 10. A quest for Village Chief of the Future has been activated. Quest rewards Village Chief's authority and a golden treasure." Tan Fong says, "The C-level quest to break 5 seals has a reward of a dark golden treasure. The D-level quest rewards and the first place prize for newbies. The assessments are identical. Let's see the specific quest details. Activate the D-level quest for Village Chief of the Future. Quest content. Go to the level 10 Maikot Desert. Find the missing village, uncover the truth, and kill the evil spirits. Quest rewards Village Chief's authority and a golden treasure. Quest reminder, newbies must reach level 10 and receive the title of Newbie Lord to qualify for this quest. Quest reminder. The missing village is deep in the Maikot Desert. A complete dark seal is needed to enter the true village and become the village chief. This is the first step to developing the newbie village. Without a village chief, the newbie village will dissolve and the villagers will become wanderers, losing the protection of the newbie wooden house. In the new village, the village chief can gradually strengthen it. The chief can lead the villagers to build the village, developing it from a village into a town. In the Empire's territory, even in the divine realm, Tan Feng picked up a piece of metal and said, "The missing village in the Maikot Desert must be where I accidentally stumbled in last night." That's good. I already have the key to enter the missing village. Now I just need to wait for nightfall to complete the mission. This is a good opportunity to plant the willows into this forest. The more times I encounter it, the better. Tan Feng was determined that the position of village chief must be his. Before heading to the Maikot Desert, he needed to prepare thoroughly. First, he would use all the attribute points gained from leveling up in the opposing camp. Tan Feng shouted, "Add all attribute points." Feeling the continuous surge of strength, it was truly wonderful. At the same time, the system announced that attribute addition was complete. The system displayed strength 463 plus 83 agility level C, 461 plus 15 speed enhancement level D, and vitality 474. Mind enhancement level D, hearing enhancement level E, smell enhancement level F, touch enhancement level F, elemental talent fire level C, earth control level D, metal control level D. Shadow control level D, combat power evaluation 47 stars. Tan Feng said that since he obtained the F-level tactile talent from the Golden Ant Worker, he only lacked the F-level visual talent. He extracted strength enhancement from the devouring Golden Ant army, then increased it to D-level strength. Now his power was 5 times what it was before after extracting from the Ant Queen. The talent for metal control had risen to level D, allowing him to cover himself with armor made from black minerals. It's just that the acid from the ants is a type of secretion. Due to physiological structure, using the extraction skill couldn't draw out the essence, which was a pity, Tan Feng said. Additionally, because of the upgrade in metal control, the destructive power of his assassination skills increased. The combination of the 3 types of control skills, mind control, earth control, and metal control, also increased. At this moment, Tan Feng shouted, feeling his vitality consumption decrease by half. "Consider it good news." Tan Feng snapped his fingers and awakened the skill of external energy projection. This skill is to condense the power within the body into a stream of energy and shoot it out to harm the enemy, similar to internal force in martial arts novels, and it can also be applied to weapons. The power within the body transforms into a wave of energy, launching it to injure the enemy. This inner strength, similar to that in martial arts novels, can also be enveloped over weapons. Increasing the damage output for the Windblade weapon, along with the 2 skills of the strike and the external energy release, is already enough to handle ordinary beasts. As for the skill that consumes too much like hellfire, it's better to use it sparingly. This time, it's a satisfying harvest and I'm feeling pumped, so let's get started. Suddenly, a message popped up for Duong asking to have a private chat with Tan Feng. He wondered what Lu Hien, the second-tier player from Village 911, wanted with him. "Is there something going on?" Lu Hien said, "Tan Feng, I have a very interesting item I want to trade with you." Tan Feng asked, "What do you want?" Lu Hien replied, "I want to use a fusion card for Duong. In exchange for the Blood Wolf Battle Blade that you listed on the trading channel, the system displays the fusion card for Duong, a Tier 2 item that uses this card. It can fuse 5 low-level Duong into a higher-level one. Just a reminder, this fusion card can only be used for Duong below the Shadow Gold level." Tan Feng thought to himself the chance of getting a silver Duong is only 2%. Opening a Tier 4 item has a 98% chance with a gold Duong, while there's a 2% chance of getting a Tier 5 item, comparing that to the price of a gold Duong. It's worth more than 10 silver Duong combined. Perhaps others have obtained this card. They might not have enough Duong to use it, but I have plenty. This card appearing is just perfect for me. Lu Hien said, "Thank you, Tan Feng." Tan Feng replied, "Then let's get started." Immediately, a notification popped up. "You have opened a gold Duong and received a Tier 4 item, the Wind God Sea. The Wind God Sea grants plus 100 defense, plus 50 movement speed, and plus 100%. Fire resistance, plus 100%, water resistance, plus 100%. Opening a gold Duong also granted a Tier 4 item, the Illusion Necklace. The Illusion Necklace provides plus 100 energy and the skill Illusion Clone. The Illusion Clone skill. A Tier 3 ability consumes a certain amount of energy to create an illusion clone to fight in your place. Just a reminder, the clone's strength is only half of the original. The Illusion Clone skill requires awakening 6 sensory talents at level C. Tan Feng thought to himself, having a Tier 4 skill equipped is indeed a great deal. I still have 8 silver Duong left. The skill of the Illusory Clone requires awakening 6 innate perception talents of level C. I remind myself that equipping it along with the 4th tier skill is quite a bargain. I still have 8 silver coins left. We can also add a Golden Guardian to the community channel to post a notification about finding items. Let's see if the personal notification about the Hung Vuong Armor Level 2 is displayed immediately. In exchange for the Level 2 Guardian card, everyone comment that someone is posting a personal notification. I remember only those at level 10 or above can post 2 personal notifications. Wow, this is Tan Feng, the leader of our village, the strongest in Village 911. Is Tan Feng the one who took the 3-month 24 alliance with those 8 countries? Tan Feng is not standing high looking down. Right after this will be the second night I enter the world of slaughter. Tan Feng said Doghead Man and then dashed forward. I'm coming! After getting the Wind God, My speed skyrocketed. The journey that took 3 hours before now only takes 1 hour to reach the destination when I arrive at the Maikot Huang Mak. The door and the village are still missing, so I kill monsters around to level up and conveniently test the new skills I've received. I also earned quite a bit of attribute points and energy points. Tan Fong recounted that I have now reached level 10 with 217,800 out of 230,000, not far from the next level. My combat power has skyrocketed to level 49, and I have also reached the maximum limit for extracting from level 10 beasts. Below level 10, there are only level 8 and level 9 beasts left. I haven't fully extracted the limit yet. Tan Fong roughly grabbed the head of the phoenix and said, "Looks like I need to increase the purchase of corpses of this type of beast." Suddenly, I sensed something. Tan Fong thought of something. Tan Fong looked at the abyss before him and jumped down without hesitation. As he pierced through the night, Tan Fong landed and silently marveled at how much cooler his landing was this time compared to the last. Tan Fong stood up, and before him was a spatial gate, a hand with sharp claws reaching out. Tan Fong said, "Long time no see." It seemed a fierce battle had taken place. The rock bore the marks of the brawl that occurred, and the Hell soldiers questioned why. "Why have you become so strong?" Tan Fong replied, "In Long Kwok, there's a saying that a scholar who hasn't met for 3 days should look at you with different eyes. A day has passed, and you are no longer my match." The system displayed a Hell soldier with a mutated level 10 combat power rated at 20 stars, with evil, bloodthirsty, and brutal traits, and a dark enhancement of level E. Fire enhancement level E. Hellfire skill Dark Bite with a drop rate of over 10%. Tan Fong said, "And I already know that the immortality you mentioned is just because I haven't found the point. Your critical hit, that's all." Now Tan Fong was both taking the power of the Hell soldier and saying, "I found it." A notification appeared. Successfully killed, received 15 judgment points, gained 1000 energy points, picked up a fragment of the Dark Seal. Tan Fong picked up the fragment, and the lines of text appeared. Tan Fong turned around. Those lines of text were, "Collect 7 dark crystals to activate the spirit sacrifice, release the vengeful spirit, and simultaneously kill it to cleanse the village of 10 people completing the first mission of the Lamtin Gyoi. Received a Golden Guardian 200 attribute points. 10 villages completed the first mission. The entire village's attributes increased by 100%. You are the 7th newcomer to activate the mission in Lamtin Gyoi." Please hurry," Tan Fong thought to himself. The Lamtin Gyoi probably has only 10 billion people, and now there are already 6 people dragged into this. Tan Fong walked in while saying, "It seems the Lamtin Gyoi has quite a few hidden talents. If I don't hurry, I might not make it into the top 10. Suddenly, Tan Fong noticed something unusual. This level 13 Vengeful Spirit Envoy was about to ambush Tan Fong. At the same time, the system displayed that Village 911 had won the bet multiple times. This mission's difficulty has been increased by 2 times, the combat power of the evil creature has increased, and the rewards have doubled. A reminder that Village 911 is the only village with increased difficulty. Tan Fong wondered, what is this? The level 13 Vengeful Spirit Envoy laughed and said, "A level 10 newcomer is not even as good as I was when I was alive." He hadn't finished his sentence when Tan Fong had already dashed past him, sending him to meet his ancestors. Tan Fong said, "High levels don't mean anything. Real strength is what matters." The system announced, "Successfully killed. The level 13 Vengeful Spirit Envoy received 7000 energy points. Received 110 judgment points. Congratulations, you have leveled up to level 11 and received the mission item Dark Crystal." A certain someone appeared the level 13 Vengeful Spirit Envoy. As a level 14 Vengeful Spirit Envoy, he said the fat guy is still useless just like before. Tan Fong thought to himself, another one from the system displaying Village 911 has won the bet multiple times. This mission has doubled the difficulty, the combat power of the evil creature has increased, and the rewards are doubled. The Vengeful Spirit Envoy, a level 14 Spirit King, has a combat power rating of 50 stars. The innate abilities and skills do not display. The status is controlled. The previous generations of novice kings after death were transformed by vengeful spirits using dark powers. Tan Fong aesthetically assessed that such high combat power is likely, because the mission's difficulty has been doubled by the heavenly path. If I fail, I'm done for here. I would surely become the next Vengeful Spirit Envoy, Tan Fong said. He's definitely stronger than that fat guy from earlier. The level 14 Vengeful Spirit Envoy replied, "Don't compare me to him. He's useless, the lowest of the low here." Tan Fong charged forward with his sword, teasing him. After all, they used to be colleagues, saying that is a bit heartless. With just one sword strike, he created an unprecedented shockwave. Tan Feng smugly thought, you should personally apologize to him. The level 14 Vengeful Spirit Envoy was surprised that a level 11 novice like you could dodge him. The level 14 Vengeful Spirit Envoy skillfully sidestepped, but Tan Feng countered in the simplest way. The level 14 Vengeful Spirit Envoy was punched away. Tan Feng shouted, just by me, the level 14 Vengeful Spirit Envoy was knocked back. He seemed to have forgotten to say, don't touch me. Everything I touch will be frozen solid, unable to move. You can only let me carve you up. After saying that, the level 14 Vengeful Spirit Envoy pulled out a giant spear, saying, I will give you a shattered gun. At this moment, Tan Feng was completely frozen. The blade almost touched him, but Tan Feng seized the upper hand and successfully sent him off. The system announced, successfully killed the level 14 Vengeful Spirit Envoy, received 8000 energy points, 120 judgment points, and a dark crystal. Tan Feng continued, I also forgot to say, don't come near me or else you will all turn into energy points for me to level up. The level 14 Vengeful Spirit Envoy met a tragic end, and Tan Feng said the wails of the vengeful spirits made the darkness here even denser. Before he could rest, 3 pairs of legs were ready to confront Tan Feng. The system displayed 4 Vengeful Spirit Envoys, Evil Creature Envoys, and a level 15 Vengeful Spirit King. Level 15 combat power rating of 54 stars. The innate abilities and skills do not display. The status is controlled. The previous generations of novice kings after death were transformed by vengeful spirits using dark powers. Tan Feng asked, 7 dark crystals must mean there are 7 Vengeful Spirit Envoys, but where's the last one? Just as he mentioned the Vengeful Spirit Envoy, it appeared. Tan Feng was startled to find a level 16 Vengeful Spirit Envoy behind him, clasping his hands and smiling. Tan Feng felt hypnotized. This sensation made him dizzy, and it seemed his body couldn't move. Who am I? Where am I? The last thing Tan Feng saw was the vengeful spirit smiling, followed by a peaceful, natural scene. Tan Feng wondered, is this place? Suddenly, a butterfly flew by, transforming into a level 16 Vengeful Spirit Envoy, landing gracefully like a fairy. Tan Feng was mesmerized, standing there in a daze. In reality, there was no peaceful, natural scene here. Both Vengeful Spirit Envoys spoke to each other, so this guy's weakness is low energy. Ha ha, he's doomed. He has killed the ice god Bai Nuok, and now he's about to go insane. The level 16 Vengeful Spirit Envoy said, come closer to me in this dream. You are the star awakening from a daze. You are the master of light and might. The other Vengeful Spirit Envoys seized the opportunity. Now is the best time to strike, he shouted, die. Tan Feng had already detected the confusing Vengeful Spirit Envoy. Tan Feng slashed from behind, cleaving his opponent in 2, and with another strike, he took down another Vengeful Spirit Envoy. Tan Feng said, you guys were fooled. It really was a good opportunity to strike. All 3 were horrified. What a level 16 Vengeful Spirit Envoy. This human has deceived us. He hasn't been hit by any illusion. Together, let's suppress him. The battle raged fiercely and was completely unbalanced. But Tan Feng handled everything with ease. He grabbed the hand of a level 16 Vengeful Spirit Envoy and hurled him several miles away. The level 16 Envoy thought he had ambushed Tan Feng. At that moment, Tan Feng turned around, wanting to die. A blue light flared up as usual. Tan Feng swung his sword, but she had already vanished. Tan Feng was suspicious. Was this an illusion? But he clearly felt he had struck flesh. No, she must be hiding among these petals. Sure enough, the petals were trying to assassinate Tan Feng. Tan Feng clicked his tongue in annoyance. These petals were both eerie and obstructive. He had to leave this place quickly. Tan Feng took a leap into the air, but the petals clung to his legs, refusing to let go. They wrapped around him like a blanket. At this moment, Tan Feng realized this girl had 2 innate abilities. Illusions and wood-type innate abilities. Tan Feng was about to be killed. He couldn't hold on any longer. The level 16 Vengeful Spirit Envoy exclaimed, you're really interesting, clearly only level 11, yet you can easily kill many level 15 Vengeful Spirit Envoys. You must have a secret. The level 16 Vengeful Spirit Envoy suspected, I know you won't tell me, so I've decided to kill you. Then I'll have Lord Vengeful Spirit examine your memories to pay for deceiving me. I want to teach you a little lesson. The level 16 Vengeful Spirit Envoy began to torture her, swinging her hands mercilessly and slamming Tan Feng hard against the rock wall. Tan Feng thought to himself, this girl is really twisted. My arms and legs can't move, which means my only chance to counterattack is when the crystal armor shatters. Release the crystal armor, Tan Feng told himself at that moment. Between my body and the vines, there must be a gap. At this moment, Tan Pong was able to raise his hand and unleash his inner power. He shouted, "Release the hellfire," with that powerful energy. The level 16 Vengeful Spirit Envoy trembled and collapsed. She exclaimed, "Damn it, it hurts! How do you have so many skills? You must be cheating. No one can possess more than 3 innate abilities. Despicable and shameless, the heavens should destroy you. It's true that the winner is king and the loser is scorned." Tan Fong replied, "A frog at the bottom of a well dares to speak so arrogantly." Killing the level 16 Vengeful Spirit Envoy successfully earned him 140 points and 10,000 energy points. Tan Fong noted that the inner energy of the Vengeful Spirit was now much stronger than before. It seemed he was about to break out of the altar. He placed 7 dark crystals into the recesses of the 7 stone pillars of the dark altar. The seal would open, releasing the Vengeful Spirit. At that moment, a fierce thunder struck the pillar. The thunder formed a swirling vortex. Tan Fong was excited. The sealing power was quickly weakening. It's about to come out. A blue light struck down on the altar. Tan Fong had to shield his face from its impact. The system announced, "Newbie Tan Fong successfully released the Vengeful Spirit. Level 11, 3800 out of 500, 000. Third level judge, 895 out of 500. Reputation, 56. Newbie King Power, 541 plus 83. B-level Strength Agility, 551 plus 100. C-level Foot Intent Speed. Physique, 543 plus 20. C-level Foot Intent Energy, 564 plus 100. 6 senses interconnected C-level. Fire Elemental Foot Intent C-level. Earth Foot Intent C-level. Metal Foot Intent C-level. Ice Foot Intent C-level. Dark Foot Intent C-level. Wood Foot Intent B-level. Bloodline Enhancement Innate Ability E-level. Dragon Blood Innate Ability Endless Fate SSS level. Foot Intent Skill First Level Foot Sight, Second Level Hellfire Transformation, Third Level Hellfire Explosion, Level 30 Rejuvenation Technique, Third Level Beast Control Technique, Third Level Illusion Clone, Combat Power Evaluation, 56 stars Extreme Limit. A foot with 2 sharp claws stomped down, shattering the ground. Thunder erupted from the soles of Tan Fong's feet as he stared in shock at the giant creature before him. His heart trembled slightly. This monster was terrifying and unprecedented. It was a goat-headed monster with 6 horns roaring loudly. This was a vengeful spirit at the level of a Vengeful Spirit Emperor. Level 17 Combat Power Evaluation, 71 stars. Innate abilities undetectable. Skills undetectable. The Vengeful Spirit reached out to strike Tan Fong, who quickly drew his sword to block. The weight of the monster's arm made him stagger. The monster growled, "You killed all my subordinates and destroyed my hard work for hundreds of years." It shouted at Tan Fong, "Go die." The force of its hand pressed down harder and harder. Tan Fong hesitated. He felt a bit scared. Just one strike made his hand numb. The monster's strength was truly terrifying as it jumped up and swung its other arm. Tan glanced over and saw the terrifying face of the Vengeful Spirit getting closer to the monster, which was smashing the ground beneath his hand, causing rocks to explode. Looking down, he saw blood beneath his hand. The monster now relaxed, began to huff and puff. He looked down with disdain and said, "I thought you'd be something to fear after killing 7 of my subordinates at once. Truly disappointing." Suddenly, he felt a force pushing his arm up from beneath. Tan Fong's voice rose, "I'm here to let you down." Sorry about that. Tan Fong was currently doing his best to hold back the hand of the Vengeful Spirit. Surrounding him were sharp metal spikes, and he silently rejoiced that these spikes were incredibly durable and flexible. When he was attacked, they immediately blocked half of the Vengeful Spirit's strike. The spirit slammed its hand down onto the metal spikes, shattering them, and Tan Fong quickly rolled away, escaping death. Furious, the Vengeful Spirit slammed both hands down onto the ground, causing the earth to crack and emit a white light. Tan Fong ran back, and the spirit was extremely annoyed that not only had its attack failed to kill him, but this brat could move so quickly. This kid was stronger than he thought. Tan Fong summoned the spikes behind him, grabbed his sword, charged forward, and shouted as the spikes shot towards the legs of the Vengeful Spirit. They were all flung away, and Tan Fong swung his sword at its leg, leaving not a scratch. He felt utterly helpless. His attacks and the hard spikes couldn't break through its defenses. Tan Fong unleashed fire, sending the Vengeful Spirit flying 100 meters away, crashing into a stone wall which shattered. He observed that the hellfire had risen to level 3. Its power was 10 times greater than before, yet it still couldn't injure the Vengeful Spirit. The monster threw 3 bright bombs into the nearby houses in quick succession. Tan Fong jumped up to avoid them. He planned to try the 3rd stage of the gas technique, deciding to fly above the Vengeful Spirit and launch a downward attack. A bright orb fell from his hand onto the vengeful spirit, which immediately blocked it with its hand. The orb was deflected, and Tan Fong landed back on the ground as the spirit glared at him with resentment. It asked, "You cunning human, so many tricky moves, huh?" Tan Fong looked at its intact body and felt despondent. He had used all his attack skills once, but still couldn't injure it. Was this mission destined to fail? While he was lost in thought, the vengeful spirit charged at him, its mouth dripping with disgusting saliva. Tan Fong dodged its punch and reassured himself. It's just a big boss from Tan Thu village. It must have some weaknesses. I must have missed something. Tan Fong looked at the legs of the vengeful spirit. He heard a cracking sound coming from its left leg and chuckled. Right, I haven't tried this spot yet. Tan Fong swung his sword again, gathering energy around it. His eyes sparkled with confidence as he jumped up, swinging his arm to make a large cut across the vengeful spirit. The spirit screamed loudly, toppling forward like a chopped tree, green blood spraying from its wound. Tan Fong lowered his sword, a smug smile on his face. Indeed, at a crucial joint. Its defense would be weaker, making it a vulnerability. The vengeful spirit, enraged, shouted, "Human, I will tear you to pieces!" Its green blood bubbled furiously from the wound. A shadow bound Tan Fong, and he saw a massive red hand appear, alerting him. He asked, "What's that?" Just as he was preparing to swing his sword to attack, a gigantic fist appeared right behind him. Tan Fong heard a noise, turned around, and saw the fist nearly hitting his face, sending him flying 100 meters away. He suffered internal injuries and coughed up blood, collapsing to the ground. Feeling a sharp pain in his bones, his body began to activate the healing spell. He braced his sword and sat up, marveling at the strength of the vengeful spirit. Its power had increased. That punch shattered all his bones. Fortunately, he had drawn upon the wood elemental talent of the girl in the white dress, and the second stage healing skill had automatically upgraded to a third stage rejuvenation technique. Thus, his wounds healed instantly. With this skill, even with a power disparity, he could fight until his opponent was exhausted. He wiped the blood from his face. The vengeful spirit was astonished to see him stand up. It exclaimed, "You're still not dead." Tan Fong smirked. "Even if you die, I'm still alive." The system announced the ranking for Area 9.321. Tan Thu Village number 74 successfully killed the vengeful spirit. Receiving first place in the Lam Tin realm, Tan Fong thought to himself that one of the top 10 spots had been lost. He couldn't afford to delay any longer. His gaze became more resolute. This time he had to be more careful. Tan Fong took the initiative to leap at the monster, swinging down his blade onto the vengeful spirit, which threw its head back and howled at the sky. Two red hands suddenly appeared behind him. Tan Fong realized this was the binding shadow technique he had used earlier. With his illusionary clone technique, the two red hands were confused, not knowing whom to follow, and Tan Fong felt an immense pride. The illusionary clone had half the strength of his true self. Unfortunately, using it required awakening the six senses. Luckily, before opening the demon altar, he had traded for a third-tier 100 fruit. After using it, he gained an F-level sensory talent. The two clones of Tan Fong dashed past the vengeful spirit. Seeing this, the spirit tried to swipe at them, but the real Tan Fong struck a blow to its shoulder. After awakening the six senses, he could also use the beast control technique in the illusionary clone. The vengeful spirit, overwhelmed by pain, lost its balance and fell, blood spilling from its shoulder wound everywhere. It let out a painful scream, and the system notified Tan Fong. In Area 1.229, Newcomer Village, 877 successfully killed the vengeful spirit, earning second place in the Blue Star realm. Seeing this, Tan Fong grew even more anxious. Another position was lost. The vengeful spirit, furious, pounded its fists on the ground, repeatedly shouting, Why? Why is this guy so strong?" Chunks of earth and stone flew from where it struck, heading towards Tan Fong. The vengeful spirit recalled that since he entered the village, it had been silently observing his strength, speed, and physique. All his energy had awakened his talents, but it wasn't extraordinarily powerful. However, after he killed Bai Ruo, it had muttered some strange words. There were some bizarre actions. He radiated beams of light that changed so drastically that it could no longer see through him. The vengeful spirit, which had been watching Tan Fong all along, still couldn't defeat him. He lay on the ground, blood oozing from his mouth.